Sitting around the ballroom, they're talking about tomorrow when they're taking Johnny away. Said he wasn't no good, never done the things that he should. That's all the judge had to say. He went in the army when he was 18. Crazy young Irish and mean. Took a kid who was half gone all the way to be wrong with bloodlust and them 16s.
I know.
All right, we're back. It's just on the mics. Big weekend, Danny.
Big weekend.
We get Jossie. We are at an away game.
Yes, sir.
The first away game that we've done that's not like a restaurant or anything.
Correct.
Josh, the Ironworkers Bar,
Welcome, everyone.
the originator of the Melrose Garage Bar.
Thanks for having us.
Right.
Yeah, thank you.
Dude, this
for having
bar
us.
is sick.
Pleasure.
bar
It's
is
a pleasure's all
sick.
mine.
I could definitely be passed out here.
Easily.
mean,
Look at that leather
How many
coat.
times do you think you slept on it?
Oh my God! Well, I mean, quick story. When I had COVID originally, when COVID was early on, I
is
was
one of
out
my
here
favorites.
for 9 straight days, and because that's when
You didn't see your family at all?
Well, that's when it was kind of court didn't want to get COVID. It was like kind of dangerous, right?
Right.
So I was out here for 9 days. But
Deadly.
I didn't have any symptoms. So I was just out here like Dave was getting 30 packs for me, bringing them over, and it was like party central. Court would look at me through the window and she'd just wave, and I said, "Oh, there's no rules out here." 9 days out here.
I think
I'd
that-
sleep in the house.
Living the
And
dream.
it was January, and the garage doors weren't new, so it was chilly.
Yeah.
But I had
Hit
the
a
stove
drink to keep
going.
warm, right?
So it was like the best 9 days of my life.
Court's gonna listen to this, but
Right.
when you told me that you were like, she's like, "Are you drinking out there?" You're like, "I'm not drinking. I have COVID."
And you know what? On the 9th day, it was the Patriots. No, it was the Bucks Saints playoff game.
Yes.
Tom Brady,
Yeah.
on the Bucks, obviously. And she texts me and she says, "I think it's okay for you to come in now." And I said, and the game was literally just starting. It was just
Give me
setting
like
up on the
3
TV.
hours.
I said, "I'm not comfortable." And she goes, "Okay."
I would have been like, hey, I can't taste this 30 pack. I'm not coming in.
I need 3 more hours.
The best was you call me and you're like, I'm like, oh, you're like, yeah, I had no symptoms, I was fine, and you're like, dude, like I was just fucking partying, like, and you're like, I don't know how I'm gonna readjust to regular life.
I couldn't. It took a long time. It took 3 weeks to readjust to regular life.
I got COVID twice. And the first time, like, it was like in the heat of it. Everybody wanted to stay away far. It was the same thing. Best
Dude.
14 days of my life.
My daughter was saying
I'm
today,
laying in bed totally fine.
Tessa's like, it was fucking amazing. I didn't have to go to school and I could watch Christmas movies and nobody talked to me. Like, like, dude, I got fucked though when I got it. Same thing. It was December. It was right before Christmas. I ended up going to like whatever. I find out I have it. I'm like, all right, perfect. Same thing. I'm in the garage. Awesome. Felt pretty good. I was a little sick. Day 4, right? I'm just out there watching Christmas movies, fucking around. Addie's like, gets it. My youngest, Maggie's like, well, she's gonna go with you, so you're gonna have to move to the basement. This is before my basement was finished.
Right.
It was just like a fucking prison. You know what I mean? She's like, we just had one TV and watching fucking like Disney shows like all day, and I'm like, this is fucking not what I had in mind. It was not your week.
No. And if I had to have a child out here with me, that would have been very
Yeah,
bad. Very bad.
The best part about mine was like me and Christy aren't on the same fucking wavelength as far as TV shows and movies. I watch great films and shows, and she watches stink TV. It's so bad, like Tubi TV,
Yeah. Shit.
Lifetime, shit,
Yeah.
shit, right? So I was just rewatching The Sopranos, like it was the best time ever.
Yeah.
Paulie Walnut's still my fucking guy. All right,
COVID, as much of a hassle as it was probably one of my favorite times.
I'm not kidding, dude. It was fucking awesome. You didn't have
Social
to-
distancing is one of my favorite pastimes.
Totally
I
agree.
fucking hate people. There's like a select few people who I can like hang out with and get along with.
Yeah.
Other than that, I fucking hate people.
You
I went
could
to the
get out of
Sox game
anything.
today.
Yeah.
I wish it was COVID. I dude, driving down the highway during COVID, no cops wanted to pull you over. I was going $110 everywhere I went. There was no traffic.
Yeah.
I'm an essential employee. I was fucking flying back and forth,
Yeah.
and no one was bothering me.
yeah.
I loved it. COVID, I had a blast.
I was laid off.
Yeah.
and Biden was like, "Hey,
Here's some money.
Here's $1,600. Keep
Here's some
quiet."
extra
Yeah.
scratch.
And I
will.
said,
Yeah, take
every
this.
once in a while, I'll still put a mask on when I'm in the crowd.
Just to
I
fuck with
think
you.
I think I've told. I don't know if
When
I
I
told
see
this.
those people, I'm like,
Yeah.
really?
I don't think
look
I've told
at-
this
yeah.
story on
COVID
the
was a
podcast,
wild
but
time.
We had a birthday
So
party
stupid.
for my daughter. Like it was this month of the COVID year, and so it was like my family and then Josh's family and like my immediate family and shit, and my buddy Dave, Josh's neighbor, and so they came over. So it ends up it's me, Nate, Dave, and Josh. Like Josh was arm wrestling Nate. Like if you know my brother-in-law, Nate's jacked. Like
And I definitely took him down. He doesn't like to hear that, but
and we got fucking wrecked. And then, long story short, Josh comes over in the morning to pick up his phone, and I'm like, Maggie was still like sleeping. It was a Monday, dude. Like I was actually supposed to be working, and I'm like, hey, like you want to fucking do a cranberry vodka? Like just knock the edge off of it. Next thing you know, we're like 4 deep watching a fucking Allman Brothers concert, and Maggie came out and she's like, "What the fuck do you think you're doing?" Like I was like, "Oh yeah, we're getting a little out of control here.
That was
Like
a
it's
lot,
getting,
yeah.
we're getting off the fucking pace of what we should be doing."
people were drinking a little too much at that time, I think.
Dude, the first week of COVID, like when we all got shut down, we've talked about it. I was scared to death. Like I literally thought like we were dying. I remember Tom Hanks getting it, and I'm like, we're gonna lose fucking
No.
Forrest, you know. Couldn't go to the fucking liquor store. Couldn't do anything.
Wouldn't.
Everything happened on St.
No,
Patrick's Day.
but you could go. They left liquor stores open.
But
Thank God.
The first week,
Thank God.
they didn't
Dude,
know.
We're gonna
some
be
fucking
brewing our-
cocksucker wrote in the fucking Globe like how this is that it's immoral that they're leaving
Allow-
liquor stores
right.
open. Remember this?
Yeah,
Yes,
guess
I do
what?
remember
Because
that.
like this is
Guess what?
contributing
You're
to
gonna
alcoholism.
have fucking riots if you don't
Yeah.
do
Do
that.
me a favor, buddy. Take a fucking dick and put it right in your fucking eye.
You
Because
know-
you are a fucking potty
You know
pooper.
how much
Everywhere.
more
Put it
drunker people
everywhere.
would get?
Ass,
They would be
mouth,
making,
wherever the fuck you can fit it. Put it there.
Yeah.
we would have been making moonshine. I mean, we would have been like,
100%. It was the
just-
best
Oh,
too.
dude, you
'Cause
would have
I'd-
gone to whatever like you had to do to get booze.
Yes.
100%.
My problem was I'd go to the liquor store, right? And I'd stock up for like 2 weeks because who knows what the fuck was going to happen,
Sure.
That's what
right?
happens, yeah.
Yeah.
2 days later, I had to go back to the liquor store. That 2 weeks supply didn't
Stumbled back.
last.
Well,
Right.
here's one of the best stories ever. As far as COVID, right? All the bars were closed, everything was closed. My buddy started his own club at his he has like my buddy Chris.
Yeah.
Catfish.
Yeah.
Started his own club,
Social club.
social club,
Yeah,
in his
hell-
yard.
Hell yeah.
I love it.
You'd go there, you'd pay $1, you'd sign a book.
I fucking love it.
Dude, it was awesome. They're like, you swinging by the club today? And it was called, I forget what it was. He had a parrot. No longer with the company. The parrot died, but it was named after him, and I forget what it was. Club Ben, maybe? I don't know. It had a human name.
Yeah.
You know? But you'd go there, and like we would socially distance, but we'd be outside at fucking 10 o'clock in the morning on a Tuesday,
Crushing beers.
just having a grand old
Yeah.
time.
That's all there was to do.
It was wild.
You know what I mean?
Started his own club.
I remember when they started opening places back up, they forced bars to like serve food
Yeah.
if they wanted to be open.
Yeah.
So there was like some dive bars that would give you a raw hot dog in a bun and just be like, listen, if anyone walks in, that's your meal.
Right.
But here, what do you want to drink?
Dude, it's very well known that I'm not a craft beer guy.
Yeah.
But the place that was right next to my Union Hall, Dorchester Brewery, they're not bad people, but they wouldn't let you. They got food there, right? The food is fucking decent,
Yep.
but you couldn't. You had to buy it on every drink was a different tab. You couldn't keep a tab open. And then if you bought food, it was a different tab. And I was like, fuck this place.
Yeah.
I was like, first off, God forbid me and my wife have a shared an account. She'd be like, you're an idiot. Like,
Yeah.
How many times are you going up there? And it's like, it just didn't make sense.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Applebee's down the street didn't give a flying fuck. Not a flying. I think I just spit on you. I'm
The
sorry.
fucking bees? No, you didn't.
They didn't care at all. They were like, yeah, order food, but like stay as
Dude,
long
I
as you
loved
want.
COVID. I'll tell you what, I also loved it. Like, I was doing these fucking COVID every week. I did a COVID quarantine concert, and I played different songs, take requests and shit.
Yeah.
We raised a bunch of
Those
money.
those were
Dude,
fucking cool.
and it was fucking awesome. And I was like, dude, okay, let me tell you this. I get to play music in my fucking living room, crushing a beer. 400 or 500 people watching something, 700 people, one of them.
Fuck yeah.
I'm like, then they're not there and I don't have to talk to them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then like people in the neighborhood start dropping off beers. Like, we want to sponsor this week's, so they drop off a 30 pack. I'm like, this is fucking heaven.
Yeah, it
like,
wasn't
this
a bad
is fucking
idea.
unbelievable.
Hell
And
yeah.
let's not forget, I think your bar originated from COVID,
100%
right?
it did.
Right? You
Yes.
asked
I'm pretty
me, you're
sure
like,
you
hey,
were-
dude, I'm emptying my bar out. I got to build a bar in here.
Weren't you
Yeah.
Tim the Two Man Taylor with that?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, that's how your bar
That's 100% how it happened.
You needed an outlet.
We were in here the night I played the quarantine concert from here.
That's right.
And I was like, Maggie's just had enough fucking like Prosecco. And I was like, hey, Josh says we can just build this thing. It
Just
costs like a
enough.
few $100 or whatever.
Right.
And she's like, yeah, go ahead. And I
$4
ordered
grand later.
Yeah, $4 later. I ordered the fucking like dumpster that night.
Right.
And like the next day I was cleaning it out. I remember that's when Ryan and her, my neighbor, moved in. And he goes,
Hey, what's
what are you doing? He's like, what are you doing?
Hey,
over
what's
there?
up, man?
He's like, what are you doing over there? And I was like,
Shout
oh,
out to
I'm
Ryan Ahern.
building the fucking bar. And he's like, you are? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, that is awesome. I'm like, no shit. By the way, quick shout out real quick. Ryan Ahern, speaking of the devil, my neighbor, my unrelated brother.
Fucking gentleman.
His brother, Tim, I went to their daughter's birthday party yesterday. Ryan's daughter, Celeste. Happy birthday, Celeste. And Tim, his brother, is a dentist. Great shit. Love this kid. First time he met me, he's like, gave me a big hug. He's like, hi, cousin. Like, he's like, you're in a Ahern. Kid has grown a mustache. Now, here's the thing about mustaches. I'm usually not a mustache guy. This guy looks, I go to him, I go, Tim, I go, I've known you for what, 5 years now? 4 years, whatever? He goes, yeah. I go, you finally look like yourself with that mustache. Like, he has like a Magnum PI fucking mustache.
Yeah.
It's sick. I'm like, dude, you were born to have that fucking mustache. Also, Ryan's brother-in-law, Kate's brother, is one of the best guys in the world. It's John Dilworth. I gave him stickers. This guy is one of my favorite people. He came and played a golf tournament with Kev Meyer, and like they got fucked up. And like the next morning, I was walking the dog, and I'm like, oh fuck, I'm hungover. It was like 7 in the morning. He's driving back to Pennsylvania, right? And he comes out, he goes, hey man, what's up? And I go, hey, what's up, John? He goes, beautiful day. Jumps in his truck like F-150 and I go, dude, I go, Ryan, this kid can play for me anytime. Like he is a fucking legend.
Oh, yeah.
You can just tell. By the way, real quick, beef meetup yesterday, Fitzy.
Great time. Great time.
Went to see Harry.
Yep, we had a crowd there, yep.
We were overdue. Danny, you were missed.
Oh,
Obviously.
hungover as a
I was holding out hope that you were going to show up.
Dude,
you said there was a chance.
There was,
and
there was
I
a chance. And I swear to God, I was like, I have to go up and see these guys. And I go, Brendan, to my son, I go, what are you doing? He goes, I just made eggs. And I was like, oh. I'm like, because I was going to go with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And once he said that, it was 10:30. You guys were meeting up at 11:30.
Yeah.
I said, I'm not driving up there. If,
Yeah.
It's just me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, like I need a fucking
Road
co-pilot.
dog.
So we
Yeah.
had
Connor was with me.
I saw
Connor's
that.
the man.
I saw
man.
that.
He's one of my favorite.
He had the
Individuals.
doghouse.
Yep.
Dogcast.
He represents.
Yep.
We had Jay McGrath, fucking legend.
Yep.
Mark Chabak, is that how you say it?
Chayback.
Chabak. All right. I should have asked him yesterday when I talked to him. Fucking awesome guy, by the way.
Somerville's own.
Somerville's own, Stone firefighter.
Great guy.
I'd never met him before. We drank crushed beers, and I'm like, I hang out with this guy all the time.
Yeah,
Like,
my
Where
he's
did you
people.
like
guys
one
go
of my
after
people.
the beef?
So
Loaf.
I'm getting to that.
Oh,
I'm
all
getting to that. I'm getting to that. Hold on. Also, there was
Dave-
fucking Original Ginger.
Dave Sweeney.
Dave Sweeney. Mark
Legend.
Berry.
Come on.
My buddy Mark Berry.
Legend,
yeah.
yeah.
Original Ginger came.
Yeah.
Mark Berry and Andrew Fontana. Now, here's the story. So, we crushed beefs. Fucking awesome. Food was amazing, obviously. I don't even fucking talk about that. So I go, hey, Harry, where's there a bar near here if we want to go get a beer? And he's like, the Loft's right across the street. You take a left out of here, and it's literally, dude, from here to the end of Josh's driveway.
Yep.
We got there. Fontana's nowhere to be found, right? And I'm like, all right. I'm like, whatever. Maybe he had to go home or he had to bounce or whatever.
Yep.
For people at home, I think you know, Andrew Fontana keeps the swear tally and all that shit. He's a fucking maniac. First of all, he's wearing a fucking
Tommy
Magnum
Bahama-
PI shirt
Tommy
that
Bahama
is
shirt.
the size of Texas, right? I love the kid. He kills me. So finally he comes flying in, right? And he goes, you'll never believe what happened to me. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. You're like, we're on a second beer. The place is literally across the street.
Yeah.
He goes, I thought you said the Lock, not the Loft. So I found a place called the Lock and Key. I'm like, that's a cool name for a bar. I drove over there. It was a fucking locksmith like 5 miles away. He drove 5 miles away to like a locksmith's. And then fucking was like, oh, that's not it. And I go,
That's typical Fontana, dude.
Mark goes, poor locksmith. He probably saw you come and was like, finally, I'm going to make a fucking key today. This kid's looking for a fucking beer, you know? But it was a great day. We had a fucking blast.
Great
Absolutely
time.
fucking awesome time. Harry's the best. Sanders the best. It was fucking awesome. Rocco's feast was
Sandra
great.
just friended me on Facebook.
She's the
Oh,
best.
yeah?
She's fucking awesome. How was the feast? Good?
Great time. Always a great time.
Yeah.
Always a great time.
Yeah.
Today is like, it's very like low key today.
Yep.
But it used to be the grease pole, and they retired it. Not enough commitment.
Safety reasons?
So every time you do it, you have to sign something. In case
Yeah.
you die. Seriously.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, you get hurt. It's on someone's property. And they were always fine with it, you know, but the house got turned over
Sure.
a couple times.
So for me and the listeners, I don't know what it is. I've seen the Gloucester
Yeah,
grease
so it's
bowl
totally
Talking
different.
about the North. Where was this feast?
Malden.
Oh, okay.
in Malden. So
Yeah.
this one's upright.
Upright.
The Gloucester one's out
Right. So
parallel to the
So it's
flat Earth.
Yep. So
And
you
they
dig.
run down there, but I don't know what your vertical
so
pole does.
Oz is like I can't even say Oz because I'm not from that neighborhood, but they took me in and I embraced it.
Sure.
It's a vertical one. You dig down. We have to have like a what are the tree people called? Arborist.
Yep.
Arborist? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
How about that fucking?
Hell yeah.
All
Hell
right.
I love it.
You know,
Arborist,
so
yeah.
we usually have one of those guys come up and they tie it off and they pretty much set it.
Yep.
And then we just go over there, tamp it down, and it's fucking upright. And at the top of it, there's a bag of Italian meats, right? So,
So, excuse me, is this a pole that you have to
oh yeah,
climb?
yeah.
Oh,
it's a fucking tree.
Oh.
It's basically a tree, and
It's a greasy tree.
we shave it down so it's smooth.
Yeah.
And then they take fucking what?
It's a smooth pole.
Yeah.
smooth pole,
You know?
slick.
Not flaccid, by the way.
Not flat.
Hard as a
Hard
rock.
as a rock.
Hard as
And
a
then-
rock.
And vertical.
And then they take the red trans. Or I'm not a mechanic at all. The red grease,
Yep.
and they fucking lube it up. This is getting worse and worse, right?
He's loving
Right.
this.
Yeah.
They're lubing up
And I
that
can
pole.
Who's your
imagine,
buddy
I
that
can
talks
imagine
about- yeah.
as you're climbing this pole, you are rubbing
Oh yeah,
the hell out of this pole.
It is. Yeah, this is just turning into a porn at this point. But it is. So you climb this massive pole, right? and there's a bag of Italian meat at the top.
Oh my
All
God.
right?
Love it.
And
Never in
Oh
Somerville.
my God.
Yeah.
It ain't happening in
Bag of
Somerville.
Italian meat.
Yeah. And that's like, and you smell like transmission fluid for fucking 3 days.
Pure Malden.
It's fucking.
God.
All the way.
but dude, in your body.
This doesn't sound like a lot of fun, but
It's,
I'm
listen,
sure it is.
I
I'm
didn't.
sure
I
it
didn't
is.
agree to it, but I did. This wasn't my idea.
I saw pictures of you covered in
Yeah,
grease.
last year I saw all the pictures.
Yeah.
Did
So
you, so did you climb it?
so they retired at this shit. So like the problem is, right? It's someone's yard.
Yeah.
Literally, like it's a big patch of grass.
Yep.
It's someone's yard. So like everyone was
So
like,
yeah, it gets fucking ruined,
no,
basically.
well, but honestly, it doesn't.
Yeah.
It's just one area.
Sure.
But the problem is that you know you're in a group text or whatever, and you say, hey, I need you to come down tomorrow to fucking clean this person's yard up, and no one shows up.
Yeah.
That's tough.
yeah.
So like
Yeah.
this person, like so we went by there today. The stump is still there
From last year.
from last year, and there's a cut up. The pole is still there, cut up.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
still in their yard, and it's like that's fucked up.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
I wasn't part of it last year, so I'm off the hook.
Yeah.
Years prior, I've always helped out. But like, dude, Andy Regano is like, he listens every week.
Gave me a lifetime membership to his towing company.
Yep. And
Fucking
dude,
love the guy.
Him, Nick Gizzy, Tim Kelly, all
Yep.
of them. That's their neighborhood. They're the ones that go and get the pole.
Yeah.
They do everything, and then I come down that Sunday. I help them shave it down. We grease it up and we go to town.
Awesome.
But dude, it's a great tradition. It's been going on since like the '60s.
But greasing this pole up.
Greasing
is-
this pole, yeah, you know what I mean?
When it gets some meats.
Is that Regano's towing? And
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Hey, so Fitzy, you went to the Red Sox?
Yeah, Sox game today with the family. It's like 90 degrees out. We
Yeah.
were
How much was
balls.
parking?
$60.
Fucking insane.
So $50 with tax, so $58 or something like that.
That's
Jesus.
fucking.
Where'd you park? At one of those gas station lots or something?
No.
Oh.
It was a parking.com lot.
I got a great parking spot for a Sox game.
Yeah?
We'll talk about it later, but
Patreon.
Yeah.
So I was-
Patreon can hear about it.
we
Yeah.
went to the show.
Yeah, that's that. Dude.
Dude, last Sox game we went to, which was like a month ago, right over by BU. Easy as hell. 10-minute walk.
Yeah.
Hey,
we got a
is-
spot
is
there
this,
for
is
the.
this $15 parking?
No,
somebody-
dude,
my boy just
4-hour
went to the
meters.
game.
This is like
4-hour
4-hour
meters.
meters,
It's like $8.
Oh, really?
$8.
Yeah.
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 We used to drive down Com Ave and park near BU, and my wife actually had a parking spot down there, so it was great back then. But she doesn't have a parking spot. But so now we went down and we got turned around, and it took like an hour and a half to get in there. It was a fucking nightmare. So finally, we see a parking.com lot. Reserve your parking online. We were like, fuck that, and pulled in. And we were like, how do we do this? And the guy's like, just go on this website, buy a spot. He's like, just go park and then buy a spot. Once you buy a spot, it's all set. So we didn't even know what we were getting into. There was no dollar amount.
Yeah, that's how they get you.
Sure enough, $50 plus tax, and I was like, "Fuck it, whatever."
Whatever. At that point, you're
My
in,
kids-
you're in
Is that
front
gonna be?
anyways.
Is that top on your list of the overrated
Oh, it's
fucking
I
experiences
got some-
of all
hey,
time going to a Red Sox game?
I
Paying
got
for
some,
parking should be everyone's fucking
fucking
number one.
horrible.
I fucking despise.
And by the way, you know
paying
what?
the
I will say this: union workers in general all know where to park.
It's the,
Yeah.
yeah, but
Like-
it's still even like Cambridge, Boston. Cambridge is by far the worst.
Somerville's right there.
For,
They're the same. Cambridge swallowed Somerville. They're
oh
just
yeah, for
fucking
sure,
terrible.
for sure. But like, you're in fucking Kendall Square, and it's like
Oh, yeah.
$48.
Yeah, it's wild.
to park.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like I understand Reds. Like I don't understand it, but I understand. Like,
yeah.
and you know what I
They
mean?
jack it up. Yeah.
Dude. Like, what? Why am I paying the park?
Dude, we'll do the promo later, but like Lily P's is free parking, right?
Yeah.
If you eat
Yep.
there.
Yep.
When you go in, it says $75 to park there.
Yeah.
That's
Unless,
what I'm saying.
like, by the way, they're giving that to you for free
fucking
on your meal.
dollars.
All right, real quick, new Corkers, Patreon motherfucking members.
Let's go.
What's up? No surprise, by the way. The party's been waiting, and I get it. Listen, if you waited a little bit to become a Patreon, I get it. You're like, hey, stack the episodes up, and then I'll, whatever.
Binge.
Exactly. Billy O'Leary,
Hell yeah.
Billy?
Legend.
best contribution in the world is his son, Artie O'Leary.
Artie's the fucking man.
Artie's the fucking best. Let me tell you a story where me
Yes.
and Tom, I've told on the show before, but me and Tommy are walking out 5 Below. Around last year, this time, school's about to start. And he says something like, hey, he said something like about the show. And I'm like, this fucking punk. Who the fuck is this kid? And it's Artie fucking sitting in the front seat of his dad's car, like fucking just shitting on me.
Artie's the fucking man.
He's
dude.
great.
He's also gonna be. He has to be the youngest Artie on Earth.
Oh, the
yeah.
last one left.
Last one left.
It's like, the only thing that would be better is if he had a sister named Wanda or something like that. You know what I mean?
Artie's a name.
Ryan Millaren.
No
The
shit.
man who fucking swept through 4 shirts at the North Shore Beast party last
yeah.
year.
Yeah.
Also runs North Shore Dining. Check that out, right? It's North Shore Dining.
He's showing me left and right with the comedy shit.
Yeah, he's here for the fuck. We're here for him and my boy, my fucking guy, A1, one of my motherfuckers that I've been rolling with. That's a dogcast. Howell, William Howell is a fucking lifetime
yeah.
corker. He's coming into town in 2 weeks. Oh no, like 3 weeks, September or whatever. He's staying in Waltham. We're gonna go out and get some drinks. He's one of the fucking absolute best guys of all time. I fucking love that guy.
Fuck yeah.
So, anyways, welcome to the fucking club. You guys are the fucking best. All right. Let's talk about things that are overrated. This is not a draft.
Nope.
So we're not drafting things, obviously. Josh, you can start. You're the guest. Did you think of things?
Jeez, you know what?
Or do you
I
want
was-
us to go? I'll let Danny go first. Let's
Yeah,
circle
no,
to
I
you.
have a couple good things.
Okay.
I have a couple good things.
All right,
One's
well,
a
let's
little
get the
spicy.
flow going. Danny, you can start
you,
then.
you start,
You start.
Danny.
You ready?
Yeah.
Avocados.
Yeah, I'm with it.
They fucking stink. They bring nothing to the table. Guacamole. People are like, I love guac. I'm
I like guac.
Okay, I
I'll
like
eat it.
guacamole.
I'll eat it, but guess what?
It goes bad in like 4 minutes.
I know it's brown almost immediately.
It's worse than a banana.
People are like, dude, you put a lemon and then put
Yeah.
the
Leave the pit.
Put the stuff.
Leave,
I'm like,
leave the pit in there.
What,
I love
you have
how-
to do all this for the shit?
No, it's still brown.
Avocados are so fucking overrated.
I love how she'll grab some avocados, like 3 of them, and then like 3 days later they'll just be fucking
Yeah.
rotted in a bowl, like with little flies
And they're
flying
not
around.
cheap,
And I'm
dude.
like,
No.
why? To throw them out.
Christy's big thing, and she's like, "Hey, go to Stop and Shop, grab some grab
Yeah.
some stuff." And then she's like, "Grab some avocados." And I'm like, "All right." And then she'll call me and be like, "Hey, feel for them." I'm like, "I don't love avocados that much to know if like they're fucking
Yeah,
hard or soft
yeah,
or whatever."
yeah.
This is it's more like a porno, I know. But dude, I'll have them. Like I don't hate them, but I don't think it's necessary on like. People
Well-
like, you need like a breakfast sandwich with a slice of avocado on it. I go, no, I don't.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Don't they say that they're very healthy for you, right?
That's
It's a
great.
It's like,
superfood.
it's like, yeah, that's
It's a-
great.
it's
no.
a good
but it's
fat.
like you cut it open, you gotta peel that fucking skin off,
Right.
Yeah.
and then it's like, all right, now I gotta scoop it out with a spoon.
Stinks.
Like it's like eating an avocado, like you look like a jackass.
He's absolutely right.
Yeah, I mean, like what is it other than if you're making guacamole? It's like
Yeah,
otherwise you're
guacamole's
like,
good. It's only
look
use,
at
I
me,
feel
look
like.
at me, I'm healthy.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
you don't think? Here's something I've
Avoca-
never tried.
how about Tom
avocado
Brady?
toast? People
Say
are
it.
like
Never.
avocado. fucking give me toast and butter.
Right.
Toast and butter
There's nothing
or
wrong.
maybe some jelly.
Yeah.
Need
I
a
feel
fucking
like-
avocado toast.
I feel like California just scammed the whole
They
United
did,
States.
dude.
They were like,
They
they were
did.
like, you know what
Dude.
we have in California?
Dude, it
It's
came
these
out-
avocados.
it
You
came
should
out of
you
nowhere.
should smear it on toast.
It
And
came out of
everyone's like,
nowhere.
yes.
Yeah.
Ben Affleck's doing it. Let's fucking do avocado on toast.
Hey,
Take a-
Tom
take a
Brady, who I
supplement.
love to death.
Yeah.
Avocado ice cream. Right
yeah,
there.
yeah, exactly.
Come
that stuff
on.
sucks.
They gotta have
Stinks.
a pill. Like
It's a-
take
it's a California
avocado
scam.
supplement pill. You know what I mean? Like a little
supplement
pill if you want to be so healthy.
Yeah, it's like fish oil. You don't have to eat it. You can just take the
No,
fucking
it's like
pill.
it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Dude, fish
it's
oil
a great-
fish oil was right there as far as like you have to have it in order to survive.
Yeah, that's what they tell you because they want you
And
to
that
fucking.
lasted like 3 years, and then it was like, all right, we got to trade this in for a fucking avocado.
By the way, remind me that I have a great fucking conspiracy theory later about a current event. But go ahead, Fitz, you're up.
For what?
Overrated things.
All right, so
I got a couple good ones.
everybody
Being
is
part of this show is overrated.
so many so many people are gonna hate my takes on this. I have some wild controversial
This
takes.
is why you're here.
I have some serious fucking crazy takes.
I got a crazy one too.
Yeah.
I got a
But
bunch.
you go
All
ahead.
right, here's
You
my
go ahead.
first one. Tupac.
Greasy poles.
No,
Tupac?
We're team.
Tupac is overrated.
Tupac
I
is
totally agree.
overrated.
If
yeah.
anyone knows me from back in the day,
I'm saying listeners, there's gonna be a lot of listeners
Oh,
who
yeah,
are gonna
they're
be
gonna
like,
hate you.
I've been
Tupac, are you fucking shitting me,
I've
Fitzy?
been saying this since day one. Tupac is a way better actor than he is a music.
Yes.
We've talked about this I
Yep.
think before.
He's all right.
Biggie is so much of a
Oh,
better rapper
absolutely.
ever than fucking Tupac.
Absolutely.
was.
Yep.
Biddy.
See, I thought other people. I didn't know what you guys would think, but I feel like the listeners are gonna be like, "Fuck you." Tupac is awesome.
Dude,
And
Tupac was-
he's just overrated to me.
He was drowned down our throat at that point.
I agree.
He's not terrible. I was listening to a song. I can't even remember the songs. I was listening to a song the other day, and it's good. I'll sing the words. I
Sure.
thought it was
Yeah.
great. Biggie blows him out of the water. Nas
100 times.
blows him out
See,
of
I
the
don't
water.
like Nas.
Eminem blows him out
I
of the water.
shouldn't say I don't like Nas. I think Nas is very overrated.
What's your top five?
Well, and you know what's funny?
Top five
You know
what?
what?
I swear to
Rappers.
God.
Top 5 rappers?
Yeah.
Well, everything for me is old school because that's when I was into rap.
You're
so it's like,
talking way old school.
yeah,
I'm
like,
talking,
dude, I'm old school as you.
Yeah, see, I'm not. I'm
I'm like Sugar Hill Gang, number
yeah,
one,
that's-
number
Jesus
two.
no,
Christ.
I'm
so
kidding,
that's
I'm
like
kidding,
when they
I'm kidding.
invented.
Melly Mel.
But like when I was really
How
into
about
rap,
Melly
which I
Mel
was,
dissing Eminem? Did you see that?
No,
dude, when
I-
I really was into
not on
rap,
my
like that
radar.
was like
Swear to God.
up till I was in high school.
And not for
And then
nothing,
yeah.
not for nothing. I kind of believe the rumors about how he's still alive because I was just up in Maine this weekend and I thought I saw him because he sticks out like a sore thumb up there.
I heard he hangs
And I
around
was like, I
Sanford.
said to Court, I'm like, is that fucking Tupac?
I heard he has a
She's
spot
like,
in
huh?
Sanford.
I can't wait till
That's fucking
He's up
I
in
can't wait till
Maine.
Russ gets a
He's
hold of you
up in
tomorrow.
Maine.
He's up in Maine. He's water skiing. Is that
He's
what
on the
doing?
lake in Maine. He's got like a pontoon boat. He's like living large.
Bandana.
Up there. No one
You're fucking
recognizes him.
like-
No one recognizes him other than he's got this like big gold chain around his neck and he's just
Thug
always,
life tattoo.
He's always doing this.
He's screaming West Side. I don't know what he means.
Oh my fucking god! Yes, I agree with you. By the way, I think he's overrated.
Yeah, so-
we're on the same page. I've always thought that.
Yeah.
And everybody I've met that thinks he's the best, I think they have a 10-10 head. They're fucking
Yeah, they
idiots.
don't
Yeah.
have. Yeah.
They want to do what everyone else does as far as the Tupac and Biggie thing.
And the good news is if they want us,
And Biggie's way better, right?
He's
Yes.
way better.
Right.
If they want to see him, they can go up to Maine, wherever Josh was.
Right?
I mean, I've
Am
been
I
wondering.
right?
All right, I'm up. Right?
I went to Biggie's
Yeah.
house, by the way. It's great.
Did you?
Yeah.
like
In Bedford Stuyvesant,
Bedford stuff. Yeah, absolutely.
the livest one.
Yep.
all right, here's mine. Okay,
Representing
And this
DK
is
to
gonna
the fullest.
fucking. And by the way,
Absolutely.
if you're, I am one of these people that I'm gonna say. I also like Josh is one of these people, and I don't care. And you're gonna hate. You're gonna say like, oh, you're a dick, whatever. Okay, pet ownership is for fucking dummies. Okay, owning a pet is so ludicrous in the fucking dude. Okay,
Wow.
hey, you know what? I always say this like we got 2 kids. We got a nice little
Let's
house
add
here.
to this.
Let's. Hey, you know what we should do? Let's
Have
get an
someone shit-
animal with no rules.
Have
Like,
someone shit in the kitchen.
dude, let's get in. And then you're like, dude, why are you shitting in the kitchen? And he's like, I don't fucking understand you. Like, and you're like mad at the dog, and you're like,
Yeah.
and you're like,
I don't understand
But you're
you.
like, you're mad at yourself because
Why the fuck did I
fucking
buy
dog
this thing?
is like, you're like, I shouldn't have done this. You know what I mean?
That sucks.
And then you know when they get good? I'll be honest with you. Like my dog now is 8, I think. Seamus. Now he's good. He's not great. He's fine.
Yeah.
He's fucking dummy of a dog.
That
He's a
was
total
third
idiot.
on my list. That was third on my list.
Was it?
And I because Court and I just bought a rug for the living room. Finally, we did the living room over.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh Jesus Christ! I had so much anxiety because I'm like, the dogs are coming in, their paws are wet. I gotta wipe them off because they're gonna walk across that goddamn rug and they're gonna have footprints all over the place. And I'm like, you can't buy nice furniture because I have 2 dogs.
Massive
Yeah,
dogs.
It's like a terrible.
I was
terrible
born
decision.
with the hack for this.
What's
I'm
that?
allergic to dogs and cats.
Good for you.
So my kids are
That's
like,
great.
hey, we
Cats
need a
stink.
puppy. We need a puppy. And I'm like, Daddy's allergic. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So now everything. They're like, we want to go to Disney. I'm like, dude, I'm allergic to Disney. I'm sorry, we can't go.
Dude, you want to hear one of the best things of all time? Our buddy, I'm not going to use his name. He might live next door. He had a girlfriend at one point, and she was like, I want to go apple picking. And he was like, oh, there was a huge storm, and it blew all the apples off the trees. And
terrible
she
shame.
fucking believed it. Like,
Yeah.
but going back there for a second, it is ludicrous that you're like, okay, like, you know what? I'm going to get this dog, and like, it's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. You know what? Because here's what everybody knows: somebody who has a fucking sick dog. And that dog is unbelievable. And you're like, oh, that's what my life will be like.
Right.
And then you get a dog that's a dipshit. And he's like fucking, pissing all over the place. Like, I remember when we first tried to crate my dog. I have a Boston Terrier, Seamus. I was trying to crate him, and like he kept shitting in his crate. And they're like, that's not normal. He shouldn't be doing that. I'm like, I'm fucking aware that he's not supposed to be doing that, but he's doing it. It's like, what do you want me to tell you?
Seamus,
You know what I
we
mean?
have rules here.
Yeah, like the
You-
dog.
Go to your room.
Yeah.
I think you were in here when my dog threw up an ankle sock 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Like he threw up an ankle sock in the garage. He ate a glove. I pulled in the driveway one day, right? And I looked over. I was pulling in the driveway and I see this J-shaped shit. And I go, that looks weird. And so I took a picture of it, right? I put my boot next to it to give you an idea of how big it was. And it was, and I picked it up with a couple metal tongs, like these little metal things, right? Came in the garage. I measured it. It was 14 inches long. And then I brought it out back out to the yard and I started spreading it out and I took a picture of
This
it.
is shit.
Dude, there wasn't much shit on it. It was a glove, and I spread it around, and I took a picture of it. I sent it to Court. I go, what is this? She goes, oh my God, that's my glove that goes up to my elbow. He ate a glove. I'll show you the picture later. He ate a glove, went through his digestive system, and he shit it out. And I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me! Like we were like very close to having a $5,000 surgery, which I don't think I would do. I'd put him down, but I think this dog
Well, dude.
we have 2 beasts living in a house.
Last in May or something like that. I think this was maybe we were supposed to record and we couldn't because of this. Gets up, the dog shaking all the place. Man, he's
I
like, "What's
remember
wrong
this.
with him?" I'm
I
like,
remember this.
"I don't know. He's fine. Just fucking whatever." Like, as far as I'm concerned, if he fucking drops dead, it is what it is. So, like, then she's like, "He's shaking, shaking. We gotta take him to the. So she takes him to the emergency vet in like Woburn, right? And they're like, I'm pretty sure he's dying. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm also preparing myself for the conversation, inevitable conversation I'm going to have, which is,
kids.
hey, it's gonna be $5,800 to get this like sock out of him or whatever, right? And I'm gonna be like, shit in a hat. Like, how much is to put him down?
Right.
Maybe an extra $6,000 to put down to fucking spend on a dog, right?
Oh,
6.
Well, whatever.
$6
Like,
grand, not to put him
fucking
down.
Mills?
no. I'm saying
oh.
like if you had to like get the sock out.
How much
Right,
is it
right.
to kill a dog?
I do it in the backyard. You hit him over the head with a
I
shovel.
charge $50.
So Maggie's like, oh, good news. He hurt his back, and they just gave him some painkillers. He's fine. I'm like, what
Yeah.
a pussy this
Oh my
dog is, by
God.
the way. Total
Fucking
fuck.
Seamus.
He's shaking his fucking dick off like
Fraud.
Total fraud dog. I have.
Yeah,
dude.
you know
Total
what?
fraud
That's a
dog.
great, overrated, great. Animals are a great overrated on the list. That's perfect.
By the way, do you think that, you know what I always think, and I guarantee we have a lot of people listen to the show, and there's people that are going to listen to this, and they're going to be like, just like the Tupac thing, but this is going to be worse because it's going to be close to them. I think if you own reptiles, I think you're a fucking wackadoo. You're a
or-
I
fucking
used to have a
maniac.
snake.
Makes so much sense.
I used to have multiple
That's
snakes.
a trash people one. That is a trash
Used to have
people
snake.
episode.
I
If
used
you
to have
own
multiple-
like snakes and like a monitor lizard,
I
you're a
had snakes in
Perfect.
my Reading house.
See, I love it. This is what I want.
used to have a
This is
snake.
what I want. This is what I want.
You know what the
So
snake's name was?
What?
Precious.
Really? You know what mine were?
Guinea pigs and hamsters too.
Stink.
Terrible.
Those are stupid.
I had those when I was little.
That's
I
what you
did
feed
too.
to the
I had
snakes.
7 hamsters when I was little.
Yeah.
Not
You
at
had
the same
7
time.
hamsters?
Not at the same time.
Why
Just
do you have
came
more than
close.
one?
Yeah, the seven dwarves of Josh's games.
Mickey, Jeffrey, it's the most
Hey,
ridiculous
can you do
names
me a
of all
favor?
time.
Can you tell these guys about your dog Nick?
Nick? Oh my God. Yeah, we had a dog, Nick. and it was a half sheep, half Labrador.
What?
And when I was a
Sheepdog.
kid, like, and I
Sheepdog.
was
Oh,
afraid
sheepdog.
the sheepdog, and I was afraid of it. Like when we got a dog, my parents got a dog. Like, I was afraid of dogs a little bit, you know. And it didn't take me long to get over it. But this fucking dog, dude, I remember we came home one day. It was like he shit every 3 feet. It was like shitting. And then we would tie him up. We didn't know how to own a dog. We'd tie him up to the front porch, rip the railing off the front porch. And then my buddy Guys and Ellie came to the house one day. And he had on like a Michael Jackson jacket, and it was like he was into Michael Jackson at that time, and my dog ran out of the house, right, and grabbed the jacket and ripped it off his body, like it was almost like there were seams that would it was like breakaway like basketball pants, like it's like the jacket just got ripped off his body, and I was like, and so. I said I came back from karate one day, and my parents were like, yeah, we sent Nick to a farm. We gave him away, and I said, and of course I was terribly upset, and I was crying, cried for a little while because I was, this is when you can cry. You're like 8, and. So they gave the dog away, and I understand that now because the dog was it was like too much work.
Ripping
So when I
jackets
was,
off
when I was
Michael
like
Jackson.
20, I was 22. I was at my grandfather's house, and I said to Pa, I said, don't you think Nick is, because it wasn't that long, and I said, don't you think Nick is still on that farm? No. Then my grandfather says, he goes, geez, it killed your dad to have to put that dog down, and I said. What? And he's like, yeah, oh, geez, you died. I said, they put the dog down? And he goes, oh, you didn't know that? And I said, no. So I went back home when I got back to my mother's, I was like, oh, Ma, isn't it nice? Wouldn't it be nice to think like Nick is still kind of running around that farm? And she puts her hand on her temple, finger on her temple, and she goes, oh, yeah, that's kind of nice to think about. I said, do you think he's still running around the farm? She goes, yeah, maybe. He might be 10 years old. And I said, no, he isn't because you fucking euthanized him.
That's what grandpas
Put him
are
out
for.
to the farm.
Oh my God.
Grandfathers are gold for that.
Oh, yeah.
Forgetting the secrets that they're supposed to keep,
Yeah,
and they're just like,
I mean,
they're
this
just
dog's
like, hey,
not even a year old. And
Remember?
they brought
Yeah.
him down and they put him down. Like, they're like, I had enough of this fucking
it's
thing.
like, hey, little Joshy,
You
remember
weren't
when
giving it
you?
away. You're just like, let's just kill it.
Yeah, I just
Like,
gonna
yeah,
bring
yeah.
it down. Like Heartless.
I
Heartless sons of
love
bitches.
dogs with human names, too.
He probably would have calmed down.
Nick, yeah, poor
Calm
Nick.
down. And by the way, the funniest part is like, obviously, there's no context, so it doesn't matter. But the funniest part of the story to me, it's a hilarious story, but picturing this kid, Guys and Ellie, if you knew him, getting his fucking like brand new windbreaker
Jacket.
just like fucking smoked off him,
Oh,
like
yeah.
that he's probably
just-
so
he,
psyched
he
about.
He had the shrugged shoulders. And gone. Like,
All right, you're on deck. Overrated.
All right, so I had a couple
I grabbed my
thoughts.
Yep.
And I'm going to start with, I was going to say Jaylen Brown, but then I'm like, I don't really know what
He's
I'm
on my fucking list.
Okay, so I'm not. I'm going to
He's
stay
on my
away from
list.
that. Yeah, I think it's a good one to have on the list. But I'm going to say skiing.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Skiing.
I'm fucking here for this.
Skiing is
Let's
such
just say
an
this.
overrated.
Can I say something for the people who aren't watching this? There are 2 pairs of skis hanging on that wall.
Right. We
There's
look
a
like
snowboard
big.
there.
We look like big skiers.
Yeah, you look like you're like fucking Johnny Killington. Over
Well, I like skiing. I do like skiing. And you know what? Like Sid is done with it. Court can go. She likes to go. She likes the weekend thing, the drinking aspect of it. But the act of like packing up the car and getting the gear out and all that shit. Like I'm like I want to ski, and Cam, my younger daughter, really wants to ski. She loves to ski, but I'm like, what a friggin' pain in the ass
Dude,
it is. It
and you
just
have
sucks.
to pay an enormous amount of money to do
Well,
it.
and it's very
So
expensive.
how much is skiing right now?
Okay, let me give you an example. When the kids were little, and Maggie's uncle did really well for himself, and he's got a beautiful place on Lake Sunapee. He's an awesome guy. First of all, like would put us up, like we would just stay at this awesome house. It was still costing like $1,000 to put them in ski school and all this shit, right?
Yeah, ski
And finally,
school.
I had a conversation with Maggie, and I'm like,
Ski school?
yeah, because they have to learn how to fucking ski.
Whatever happened to like going to the Bunny Hill?
They do that, but that's how they take them. So, anyways,
Ski
I
school.
finally had a conversation.
They didn't have
I'm
that
like,
involved.
I'm like, dude, Neither did I. Dude, I skied in jeans when I was in high school. People were like, who are you? I love this. People were like, Melrose people are so fancy. I had jeans on. This kid was like, I had nice fucking jeans, dickhead. Some fucking kids from Stowe, Vermont, like treating me like I'm fucking the hired help out there.
The plague.
Yeah, I was falling in my jeans. My father's like, you don't
lift
need any
guy.
fucking snow
He
pants.
must be working the lifts.
Yeah.
You know what? Like I'm I'm packing the car up the night before. We get the skis in there. You don't put the boots in because you don't want them to be too cold overnight, right? So you put those in the next day. You get up to the mountain, and then you get on the mountain, and then it's just fucking bitching and complaining.
Yeah.
It's like, can't get down. You know, I remember with Sid, I was like on the middle of the mountain. I'm like, take those fucking skis off right now. Take them fucking off. And I'm like, that's it. We're walking down. I don't want to walk down. I'm like, this hill is not steep at all. We're on flat ground.
talk about
We're on
Vietnam flashbacks.
And I'm like, I've never got so mad going skiing. And I'm like, I think to myself, I'm like, why the fuck are we doing this? All I
not
do is
fun.
you just swear at your kids and you just get irate.
Yeah,
So
and you pay a
fucking mad.
lot of money.
You pay a lot of money.
And
It's
there's
like-
a shot that you could die. Like,
Yeah.
well, yeah, we're not dying at the pace that we were skiing at, but I'll tell you right now, for $500, I can get less mad doing something else. Like, I am getting so fucking mad. And then you go to the bar and you drink a bunch of beers and you have fun.
Fun
Yeah,
And I
fact.
think that's why you
I'm,
want
I'm allergic to skiing.
snow.
Yeah, so the kids are like, you want to go
Dude,
skiing?
you know
I'm
what?
like, nah, I'm allergic.
So Maggie's a sick skier. Her brother's a nasty skier.
Oh, yeah.
And so like I stink at skiing. Like I like it. I actually liked it at one point.
Right.
But I would go up there and she'd fucking
You
be
wear
like,
a cool helmet.
I did. Because that was what you had to do now. It was like you couldn't be like a non-helmet
helmets
wearing
back
person.
in the
So
day,
anyways,
You got to wear a helmet?
Fuck a helmet.
yeah, now it's helmet, dude.
Oh,
I got
shit.
one.
Wait, you have to?
Yes, basically. Like,
Well, I'm not
you know,
going to put my kids out there without a helmet. I wear a helmet too, yeah.
Yeah. Dude,
I broke
tell
a
them that
helmet
story.
out in Utah. And I don't want to be that guy. I was out in Utah. But I was.
Kid loves skiing.
Yeah,
I was
it seems
snowboarding.
like
That
he
was the
does.
board right up there. And I was fucking boogieing down this hill. It was a big, huge, wide, straight trail. And I was flying. And all of a sudden, I was snowboarding. And all of a sudden, I started getting a little squirrely. And I'm like, holy shit. And I started to bend down because I knew I was going to catch an edge. And I caught my back edge. And I fucking hit the ground so goddamn hard. And like slid for like 150 feet or so. And I was skiing with a bunch of my buddies that are all ski patrol up at Sunday River. Like every single one of them were all ski patrol. So I slid down and I got up and I was like, I felt the lights go out for just a second. And I skied down, boarded down to him and I sat down. I'm like, oh, he goes, hey, what happened? Did you fall? I said, yeah, dude, I fucking hit hard. And he's like, oh. And then he goes, hey. He goes, do you know your name? And I said, I'm like, yeah, Josh. And he goes, you know where you are? I'm like, yeah, Utah. And he's like, Jesus, dude, are you all right? And I'm like, yeah, I think I'm all right. And he goes, you broke your helmet in two spots, broke the two sides of my helmet. And and he goes, and I said, so I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm done. I felt dazed. I went down,
skiing.
but we had to go down to a lift. Go up a lift so I could get down to the bottom. I'm like, I'm going right to the bar. And and he goes,
Not
and
the
so I'm on the
hospital.
lift with all the
Concussed.
guys. I'm on the lift with all the guys, and I go, yeah, you guys must see this all the time up at Sunday River. He
Never.
goes, no. And I'm like, what do you mean no? He goes, dude, when we see a broken helmet, someone's bleeding out of their ears. He goes, that's fucked up. And I'm like, oh. I'm like, and I think I have a thick skull anyways, like I can take a shot. But yeah, I broke my fucking helmet and I was like, that's it. I'm done. I'm done
So you just went
snowboarding.
directly to the bar.
Great.
Yeah.
I went to the bar and I was drinking the beer and I was like, oh, this could be the last. Like this could be it for me. They don't recommend.
really enjoy it.
They don't recommend drinking on a concussion.
All right, Danny, you're up.
All right. I don't know how you guys
Wait,
are
real
gonna-
quick. I don't mean to cut you off, but I have to. Ads, because we have more ads than usual. So
Yeah,
I gotta
let's
do it
do
real
it.
quick. All right, start off. Louis Pease. LouisPeaseChicken.com. Chris Parsons, executive chef. One of the best in the absolute business. My guy. Our guy. They are at 50 Binney Street in Cambridge, Massachusetts. They are LouisPeaseChicken.com. They have craft cocktails. They have the Lower Broadway chicken sandwich is probably my favorite that they have. But they're all awesome. Shishito peppers, roasted oysters for days. Okay? The best. Free parking. Danny, they validate you Okay,
right.
They fucking
As
validate
long as you go to
your
the
shit.
right, as long as you go to the right parking lot,
And-
I'm
yeah.
like me.
And don't we all want to be validated in this life? We do.
Fucking right you
Get
do.
validated at Lily Peas, all right? Bella's roast beef, we were there yesterday. We were fucking Harry. The guy is a fucking legend. Sandra's wife. Like, I love these people, right?
Yeah.
They love us. You know what I mean? Like, they're our people,
Yeah,
right?
they're the best. They're the best.
BellasNA.com. I actually made my own signature beef yesterday. The Irish Curse. Mark Wadon,
Dude,
shout out. He actually, I called it the Irish beef. He goes, how about the Irish Curse? Love it. Mark
Hell yeah.
Wadon, legend. Cheddar, Jimmy, horseradish. Sorry, Danny Mayo.
we don't
Couple
need fucking
fries.
mayo.
Couple fries. Unbelievable. Excellent. Fucking awesome. So, anyways, that's the place. BellasNA.com. Check them out. That's Bellas North Andover, not Narcotics Anonymous.
Yes.
Anyways, all right, go ahead. You're up.
Well, before we go there, because I did want to talk about my lone ski trip. I was in 8th grade. All right. And I kind of want to wait for Fitzy, but fuck him. He can listen to it.
Yeah.
I had a snowboard. I had a Burton snowboard. I was kind of a fucking big deal.
Nice.
You know
Yeah,
what I'm
you
saying?
Only kid in the projects with Burton Snowboard. dude.
Fucking right. So I had a Burton snowboard, and we went to Okemo Mountain in Vermont.
Yeah, it's a good one.
So it was an 8th grade ski trip. Everyone's giving fucking handies on the bus. Like, you know what I'm
Nice.
saying? Great time.
Right.
And
You were giving Andy's?
yes.
Everyone's giving them.
I'm like, I gotta join in, you know? So the teacher at the time was like, hey, I have 2 movies we can watch. Okemo's like 3 miles away, or 3 hours away, something like that.
Yeah.
And he goes, we have The Sandlot, or we have the movie 3 Strikes. Has any one of you guys
Never
seen
seen
the
3 Strikes.
Okay.
I haven't heard of it.
This is where it gets good. 3 Strikes is not a baseball movie, but I seen it. So it is. 3 Strikes is the prison rule in California for prison.
Okay.
So 3 Strikes is fine for the first 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But so when he was like, "Does anybody want Sandlot or 3 Strikes?" I go, 3 Strikes.
Oh, you'd seen it already.
I had
so
already
you knew
seen
what it was. Okay,
and I knew
yeah.
what it was. So about 20 minutes in, do you know the actor Faison Love?
Yes.
Black dude, bald
Yeah.
dude. He's like the part of the movie
He's
is
in
like
Maid.
yes.
Yeah.
He this is about 20 minutes in, and there's a girl walking on the side of the street, and he's like trying to pick her up. By the way, everyone thinks this is a baseball movie. It's not.
Yeah.
Dude picks her up, and then all of a sudden, like, it cuts to like their house, and like she's shaking her ass and fucking on top of a coffee table, and the teacher couldn't get the fucking movie off quick enough.
I love that.
And I'm sitting there like watching the world burn, hands behind
They
me.
just they thought it was a baseball movie.
Baseball movie.
I
right?
love it. I love
So
it.
like they're like, who thought of this? Who thought of this? And they're like, Danny Gillis. And I'm like, no, I thought you said like in the Sandlot they had 3 strikes. I saved my own ass.
Well, but they had the movie. So it
I
was
didn't
your
buy
fault.
them.
Yeah, it was your
They were in
fault.
fucking Blockbuster.
not your fault.
Right.
Not your
But that's a
fault.
true. If you've never seen 3 Strikes, what
I've
a
never
movie.
seen it.
It's fucking.
Yeah.
It's a hood comedy. It's fucking hilarious.
Nice.
All right.
Overrated.
Overrated. It's gonna strike a few chords, and that's fine. It's a movie.
I think everything we're doing. By the way, is this really a frauds episode? Or is
no,
this,
it's overrated. It's different.
I agree.
It's different.
I agree.
The movie Scarface.
Wow. Okay. I'm here.
When I was in high school and
Yep.
like middle school, Scarface was like the hood movie you have to watch.
Yes.
You have to watch
And
Scarface.
they love it.
Josh, what do you think? Scarface, overrated.
By the way, you just said it's the hood movie you got to watch. I go, they love it. Like it was the most. I like clip that, and you'd be like, oh, this is what a white racist person says.
No, but
By
last
the way,
week,
after I redeemed myself
Yeah,
with McDowell's last
Yeah.
week, now they're like, fuck. I'm
that
out.
what you said?
Right away,
Is that what
they're
you
like,
said,
fuck
Scarface?
Brendan
Scarface the
again.
movie.
Yeah.
No, and I wanted to clarify because I know you're a huge Scarface fan.
I'm a Carlito's Way fan
No,
more
no,
than I
no.
am.
Scarface rapper fan.
Oh, Scarface the Rapper is my favorite rapper of all time.
Yeah.
So I wanted
Ghetto
to
Boy's my favorite rapper.
Yeah.
Ghetto Boys, yeah.
So I wanted to clarify because the movie I think is so fucking overrated. I don't think it can hold a
Who directed that?
I don't know, some
I don't
schmuck.
even know. Is
You
it,
wanna say
no,
Scorsese,
no,
but
no,
I don't think it's
with Oliver
Scorsese.
Stone, I think. Is it?
Yeah,
It
you
might
might be
be,
right.
yeah.
You might
Find
be
out in a
right.
second.
But I'm telling you right now, I
Scarface.
remember asking my mother for that for like Christmas,
Yeah.
and I watched it, and like
It's Oliver Stone. It is Oliver Stone.
I watched it in like 7th or 8th grade, and I'm like, this couldn't hold a fucking jockstrap next to Goodfellas,
Well,
Godfather, none of that.
all day I'll tell you that I think Carlito's Way is way better. Carlito!
Carlito's Way is unbelievable.
Benny Blanco from the Bronx.
I don't think Carlito's Way gets enough
I
recognition.
totally agree. It's one of my favorite movies Pacino's
I
ever been in.
got to pay a little more attention to Carlito's Way. I think I've seen it, but I'm not sure.
Carlito's
It's
Way is-
really good.
Carlito's Way is a
Sean
very good
Penn
movie.
in there in the
Yeah.
fucking like as a Jewish lawyer with a big like Jew fro and like
Right.
yeah,
I knew
like-
you were gonna say
like, it had to be said. I mean, it is what it is. Like that's what it's called.
I
You know
gotta
what I mean?
watch-
It's like Irish dick. You know what I mean? It's the same fucking thing, dude. By the way, somebody did comment on my Irish beef. Was
Italian
like, should it
meats
be,
on the top of the grease bowl.
yeah, shouldn't Aldolino said shouldn't it be smaller or something like that? Like,
and I said you should have threw gherkins.
Real
in
nice,
there.
Al.
we talked. By the way, we talked about it, Dix, on the last episode, Patreon episode last week. You can listen to that. I agree with you. I'm here for it. I agree with you.
I just. Dude,
I never want to watch it. I'm
it
never
was,
like, oh,
it was
I
in
watch.
every rap video. Like everyone was like portraying to be Tony Montana,
They love it, Danny.
and
Like
it
I said,
stinks. it's not a good movie.
See, I don't think it's bad. Is
It's
it
not a good movie.
Is it overrated?
First off,
it
why
might
couldn't
be.
they get Why couldn't they get a Cuban? Why did they get Al Pacino?
yeah.
Are you an Al Pacino fan?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I like some of his work, especially in Scent of a Woman when he acts like a blind guy the whole time. And I'm
Hooah.
like, he looked
So-
blind. He looked blind.
Yeah.
Other than his eyes
There's
weren't
some-
all googly.
There's some great scenes in Scarface. There's some fucking
listen,
great scenes.
Think of,
I don't think
I
I've
get what
watched
you're
it
saying.
enough.
Think of some
Is
of
it
the wor-
overrated? I
think
don't know.
of some
Is
of
it
the
a good
worst-
movie? It's a good movie. It's not a terrible movie.
no.
It's maybe it's overrated.
Here's part of what the problem is. All those other movies, right? Like Godfather or whatever. Like they actually, there's some connection that those movies make where you're like, it's like Sopranos. Like you want Tony to win, even though you know he's a bad person.
Right.
Right. For whatever reason, with me with
And he
Scarface,
does coke.
I
He
never
loved that he
want.
does coke.
Well, I mean, that's the best part of the movie.
He's a big-
They
Knows
love doing
nachos.
coke.
Big Coke
yeah.
fan.
Yeah. Big fan of cocaine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, I
Chi-Chi,
never
get the
feel like I
yayo.
want
Chi-Chi,
him.
get that
Chi-Chi, get the
I never
yayo.
feel like I want him to like succeed.
Rush, get the yayo.
He's just a.
And I
he's
love
just
that-
a
I
non-
love
It's
that he
just a
doesn't-
Coke movie.
Yeah,
He
it
dies,
is.
right?
It
He
is.
dies
Yeah.
in the movie, right?
Yes.
But I love that he doesn't die from doing coke. He dies from like a gunshot. wound.
Gunshots, yeah.
So I'm saying to myself, I'm like, all right.
Say,
so
say
you
hello
can
to
do
my
a
little
ton of
friend.
coke.
Yeah.
So he
Yeah,
got,
you can do a shitload of
You can do a ton of coke and you're not necessarily
got
going
a
to
good
die.
batch of
Good
coke.
shot.
You're trying. You're fucked.
he got a good batch.
He had a good run. He
Oh,
had a
dude,
good
he
run.
had clean coke. He had good stuff.
Yeah.
I think it's. I watch it and it doesn't move the
I
needle
will,
for me at all.
like I said, I will go all day.
I got to
Carlito's
watch
Way
it
is
again.
better.
Yeah.
I think Carlito's Way is better. I mean, look, I'm offended. Like, I'm always like, oh man, like, better make sure we don't offend anybody. I think I've offended like everybody except for white
Too late.
people already.
Yeah, but last week
late.
you were like
I was-
Malcolm X at the window
That's
with the fucking
we gotta
gun,
keep the
dude.
show interesting. You know what I mean? We're gonna keep the show interesting. By the way, can I tell you a true story?
Please.
And I like when people are self-deprecating when they're honest about how they were a fraud at one point. Not
Right.
that I was a fraud, but I had a Malcolm X hat.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. I swear to God.
There's
I bought one.
rules to the game.
I did not know what the rules.
There's
I didn't
rules
know
to the
what the
game.
rules. I had no idea.
You
I
had
was
the-
like,
you had
I
the-
love
you had
Malcolm
the
X.
X hat?
I had it for like a minute. My dad was like, "You can't wear that. Like, it's not for you." He was not like a negative.
Yeah.
Like he's just like, "You're not a black person."
Yeah.
Right,
like
right.
Again, we know how I grew up, who my friends are. I never once wore a do-rag.
well, you know what it is. Here's the thing. I actually have so much swag. I think I can.
You can pull it off
Dude, imagine I started rocking a Malcolm X hat now.
with
Might
the
do it.
wave cap
Yeah.
underneath it.
Oh, unbelievable.
Dude, like
be
the
a
white
little
guy
odd.
who has the Black Lives Matter sign downtown in Melrose and just stands there all the time.
Oh, I know. What, you know that guy?
He sold me my
I
Malcolm
don't.
X hat.
Yeah.
No, dude, he's fucking. But he's like, it's like, dude, it's like how it's like. It's just,
Sold me right now.
He sold me. He sold me.
dude, he's just like. I don't
Buy a
know, the
Malcolm
guy's
X
so
hat,
good.
you go to Colt 45 for free.
By the way, trash people. When you guys were talking about trash people,
Yeah.
my
It's us.
the first thing that came to
Yeah,
mind on
we're
that
here.
was the first thing that came to mind on that was when I went to a wrestling match in Saugus, like I don't know, 15 years ago, at the Saugus gym, and I was like, this is the ultimate trash people thing. Like, never mind the guys that are wrestling in this, but we're going. I mean, we went as a joke, but it was fucking. That is.
Was it
that
you,
should-
Joe?
What year was
Cousin?
that?
Yeah, and we filmed it, and he made a video. And it
By the way,
was
Josh's
classic.
cousin
You
had a
got a
video.
camcorder?
Josh and his cousin had a videography company for a while where they would film weddings.
Yeah, we filmed weddings, yeah, for a long time.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, we should.
By the way, you know who probably wrestled that? Like Jay McGrath would be a great like wrestler. Like he
Yeah.
looks like a wrestler.
Oh, for sure.
I got a great story about that name that you just said.
Jay
but
McGrath?
it's not.
Not
it's
that. No,
Oh
no.
man, it's not
Probably
such
can't
a-
tell that one.
Probably not.
Maybe on the
Patreon?
Patreon. There's
Patreon,
Patreon.
maybe.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So they just had midget wrestling at Mix 360 on Thursday. So it's the second time.
Dude, we're just clicking them off. It's like
That's
dudes,
fu-
midgets.
Oh my
Co-ed.
God. So
I hate
listen,
co-ed.
Yeah,
I
hell
hate. I don't want to interrupt you, but we were at this house last night, and there was a lot of midget talk. There was a 5-minute talk about it. 5 minutes, like making
I got an unbelievable midget
jokes,
story.
making jokes, and so I said there was everyone's laughing. Oh, the midgets, and I said to the woman who owns the house, because it was her husband that was like making most of the jokes, and it was fun. We would just
Yeah.
laugh. But I said, hey, listen. My brother's a little person, and I said, not for nothing. I know it's fun and everything, but I said it's a little much. And she's like, oh my God. She's like, oh, walked right over to her husband trying to like settle him down with the midget talk, and she was,
And
he
you're
was
obviously
he's
full of
going
shit.
off. He's half in the bag, and he's like, midgets. And I'm like, I said, she was like. And so I was laughing. Court was dying laughing. Sarah was laughing, and then she was like, and then of course I told her I didn't have a little person brother, but she was like, oh my God, I was mortified when you said that. I was mortified. Like I was like, because I was obviously being like I was like, my brother's a little person. Like I don't appreciate.
He is the best liar there's ever been. Like I've never seen a better liar. In fact, like I've actually fucking fallen for it within like the last 5 years, and I'm like, I can't fucking believe I did it. Like I can't. He fucking fucked me. Like he told me, he's like, oh, I'm convinced my parents' house is haunted. He's like, oh, I was driving by your parents' house and I saw this woman like in the window or something like, and I was like, oh, there's a ghost up there, and I'm like, yeah. And he's like, yeah, and I'm like, then he's like. And I'm like, oh, you fucking dick. You just fucking worked me.
Hey,
Midgets.
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 By the way, we are definitely not PC on this episode.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
Dude, so obviously I'm a social butterfly, right?
with midgets.
There's a whole bunch of like fucking city pages from Alden.
Yeah.
And there's a lady on
This
there.
we're calling this Josh's midget brother.
This lady went on there and she was like, this is before last Thursday.
Yeah.
Because I just did one like a month ago at the same spot. And they're like, I can't believe that they're portraying little people in wrestling because I have a little person in my house. And this poor girl got thrown through everything.
The
They're
mall
like,
community bitch.
oh my God. They're like, how dare they fucking make fun of little people? And they're like, is your son fucking getting paid? Maybe you should throw him in the ring. Fucking, dude.
That's the difference between the mall and community bitch and the Melrose one. The Melrose people would be like, would he like to like work at the coffee shop we
Oh,
have
this-
here?
this-
They're
this
like, I'll
girl-
fucking throw that motherfucker through a fucking table.
She got ran through like bad, dude. And I was like, you know what? Like, I don't know why you had to feel like to go on there and say your piece when the place was sold out. Like, it was literally, you couldn't buy a ticket.
Yeah.
These dudes are getting, and girls,
They're getting paid.
Paid.
That's why they're pissed. The fucking little people are bullshit because the Seven Dwarfs movie that's coming out is going to be regular sized people.
no, that's stupid.
Swear to God. And they're like, we need the fucking work, motherfucker. Like, it's not like regular sized people can get any job.
Right.
Like, they're like, this is our job. Like, this is the one job we can get.
Called Seven Dwarfs.
You know what I mean?
It's not like there's a lot of little people running around either. It's like, I mean, you
just-
know what I mean? It's like,
that just
like,
made its own
do
joke.
you see that many little people running around? I mean,
When you do see
I know
one,
it's
you
offensive.
notice
We're
it.
saying the politically correct little
They
people,
just
right?
always have big heads, and I don't know why.
This is what I was saying last night. I said, listen. That's what I said. I go, listen, my brother has a normal sized head. His arms, his extremities are short, but his genitalia is the same size. So I go, he's everything but his extremities. I go, he's short, and but everything else is normal. So can we stop making fun of the guy because he's like.
He's got a regular dick.
He's got a regular sized dick, and that's awesome.
the
Like,
hammer.
imagine if you had the littlest dick. Like he probably has.
Imagine.
He probably has a bigger dick than I do.
Look
Like
at my show.
I have the dick of a little person.
Dude, that is fucking absolutely fucking ridiculous. You know, can I tell you something ridiculous one time? O'Malley loves when I tell this fucking. I've never told this on the show. I worked in downtown Crossing, like that's where our building was, and I walked around the corner. There was a guy who was like, he was like very fucked up person in a like mobilized wheelchair, which back then there weren't many of.
Right.
And like he had like his fucking head was all fucked up and like he looked like a horror movie person.
Yeah, yeah.
And I tell O'Malley, I'm like, I walked around the corner and literally like I was like right in front of this guy. And he goes, "What'd you do?" I go, I was
No.
Screamed.
It was a fucking visceral reaction. It wasn't like I was being a dick. I was fucking legitimately like listening to my headphones,
Shocked.
and saw like a zombie
Terrified.
person, and I was terrified.
Yeah.
And O'Malley goes, you fucking screamed like
Yeah, this
like
poor
in
guy.
fear.
Screamed.
I felt horrible. Obviously,
Yes.
I felt fucking horrible. But I'm gonna tell the story because
Well, they get
it
that
happened.
reaction.
You know what I mean?
Unfortunately, they get that reaction all the time, and it's not right.
Yeah.
It's not right. But
I mean, we're offending everybody. Hey, real quick, last little person story was there was a guy that I was friends with who had a buddy that he went to college with, and he started dating this girl, right?
right.
This is a fucking ridiculous story. And he's dating this girl, and she was like, they were moving, and they went to this fucking convenience store to get a drink, and it was run by a family of little people. And she started like bugging out. Like he's like, it was very strange. Like she wanted to get out of there. She's very uncomfortable. So, anyways, he's like, okay, cool. So they were kind of dating for like a few months, and then he helps her move that day, and then like the next day he's like moving some boxes, and a box breaks, and like 4 midget porns like come fucking flying out of it. She was
crazy.
like a fucking, she loved midget, loved little person porn. So I mean,
Yeah. Well, you know, I think it was.
did your brother make any little people porn?
Well,
Your
my
imaginary
brother was started. You remember the Jackass video when they like the midgets came
Wee
into
Man?
the
Wee
bar?
Man.
Your brother was
Yeah.
Wee
No,
Man?
and they came into the bar and they were like they
Oh,
got in an
that was-
argument,
that
and
was
then the
funny.
little people,
Yeah.
police came in, and then there's a little people came in with a stretcher. Like one of the midgets knocked another one out, and they laid down. Everyone's just drinking in the bar, and they were like, what the fuck is going on? And it was like a midget fight, and then the midget ambulance people came in and they brought one out in the stretcher. It was crazy.
all right.
By the-
Wait, so
by the
what's
way-
overrated? Midgets?
Yeah, no one knows. Can we talk about Josh's fucking T-shirt?
I have the same one.
Do
It's
you?
awesome. Yeah, it's great.
Fucking great.
Paul Gentile bought me mine.
Paul Gentile. Hey, one of his guys is on my list too, but I'm not going to say him.
Paul Gentile.
By the way, Patrick Mahomes overrated. We won't get into it, but
Well, you know what?
I
I was
don't-
going
I
to do
disagree.
sports figures, but I got a
Overrated.
spicy one. I
I
got a spicy.
disagree.
Is it
Yeah, you
my
think he's
turn?
good?
no, you
I think he's.
I think he's great. I
He
think he's
puts
great.
the effort in too.
I agree. I think he's great.
No,
I don't
who's-
have a beef against him.
Know
I
who's
hate him.
overrated? His
I don't
wife
think-
and his fucking brother.
They're pieces of shit.
Yeah, they suck.
He's fine.
Patrick Mahomes' wife?
Fitzy, I think, right?
Yeah.
yeah, go for it.
Fitzy, you're up.
Malik Cunningham.
Fuck off.
Overrated.
Fuck off.
Dude, it was the fourth quarter
Doesn't matter. And he
of
was
the first game
Yeah.
of the preseason.
yeah, and they're playing the fifth string fucking Texans.
Correct.
Guess what? He still made the needle move.
Yes, it was great. It was a great move. You could have made that move.
I don't know about that.
Yes, you
Dude,
would have scored that touchdown.
They said
Oh, sorry.
Malik Cunningham,
Who's they?
the world.
The little people.
Malik Cunningham, all right. You're telling me right now,
Yes.
he wasn't entertaining to watch.
He
And
was
you-
he
and
was
you don't-
electric against scrubs.
But you don't watch college football like that.
I watch
They said he's better than
I
Lamar
watch-
in college.
I watch the pros. And I watched
Those are frauds, by the way.
I watched
Pros.
the fifth quarter.
Yeah.
And every single local reporter was like, Bill, how about Malik? And Bill's
Yeah.
just sitting there like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
It's the fourth quarter of the
Yep.
first preseason game
Absolutely.
of the 2023 season.
He's exciting to watch.
He did great.
I'll give you
Next
this. like,
question.
I'll give you this. He was exciting in that game, but I know what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying.
Come-
it was fun
come-
to watch because the
okay,
game was
week,
boring.
Week 3 of preseason, that's when it's like the actual dress rehearsal for
Right,
the season.
right.
Malik Cunningham is not going to be in the game.
No.
I think it was great. I thought it was great.
It was fun
Good
to
for
watch
him.
him because he was the only entertainment that you had during that game,
Yeah,
really.
If
and
he,
we still lost.
so yeah, but who cares? It's the first
Right.
preseason game. If Malik Cunningham is quarterbacking the Patriots in the regular season,
It's going to be a shit
we're
show.
in trouble.
I disagree.
I think it'll be a shit
We're
show.
in trouble anyways.
Listen.
But that means that we went through Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi to
Right.
get to Malik Cunningham.
Right.
Right.
I like that people are excited, but have a fucking head on your shoulders.
Yeah, I agree.
Listen
Hey,
to
not
me.
for nothing. Tom Brady is not walking through that
Correct.
door.
100%.
You understand?
It's gonna be
You understand?
years. You know what I mean?
Correct. But his,
If you want to follow a franchise, right? Head to Jacksonville. Put $50 on fucking T-Law MVP this season.
Unbelievable.
Didn't they say
Legend,
in
baby.
that
Look
game?
at those locks.
Didn't they say in that game that Malik Cunningham was like playing receiver? Like
Yeah, yeah.
early in
He
the game?
switched.
Like,
He had
so
to
he's
switch
not-
to quarterback for the pros.
I know he was a quarterback in college, right?
Yeah. But you're not the game has absolutely changed. If you don't have a running quarterback,
I agree.
No, I agree with you. I know what you're saying.
I don't think we have
Unless
a
you're
chance.
Tom Brady. Unless you're Tom Brady.
Tom's a different human, dude.
Yeah.
I don't like
Yeah.
it either. I don't like
I
the
hate running
plays.
quarterbacks.
I
I
don't
hate
like
it.
the play when it's like they step back 3 steps and then boom, run. I don't like that style of
I
football,
agree.
but I get it.
All right. I'm up next, but we got more people to talk about.
Let's do it.
Okay. Tedco Construction, my buddy Teddy. Now, listen, I actually had a meeting with Teddy yesterday.
Legend.
My fucking guy. Are you okay? Jesus Christ. Would you see a little person outside or something? Kid just lost it. My guy
Fine.
Teddy.
I love getting in the shower.
Listen, so here's the thing. Here's the thing that I haven't revealed, right?
Bless you.
I haven't revealed this. Teddy did the addition on fucking Paul Gentile's house.
Okay.
So yes, he can go flip you a house in fucking Somerville. You buy a house, you want to renovate it. He can do that for you. But he can fucking do your basement. He can do a fucking addition.
Yep.
Teddy is the fucking man. And I'll tell you what, he is totally like a stand-up fucking dude. He's the best. 617-996-6827. He came over to the bar yesterday and said, hey, I love being in fucking business with Pulling the Cork. He brought a bunch of shirts that I have for you guys for next week.
Fuck yeah.
Double XL, by the way.
Let's go.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. This is the type of person that I want to be working with.
Yeah.
So let me tell you right now, motherfuckers out there, okay? I find out that you get some estimates and you didn't have Tedco give you an estimate. I come over to your house, you're getting a little basement done or whatever, and you're like, oh, yeah, I used, Little People Construction. I'm going to use Josh's brother's construction company. I'm going to be bullshit, okay? You can talk to Tedco, 617-996-6827.
There's gonna be people out there that are gonna be like, does Josh really have a midget brother?
TedcoCM.com. Oh, this is the last thing I was going to say. Before we do AJM, Wicked Cornhole, was that I think I've told this before on the podcast, but Maggie will tell you this is true. When we were first dating, I just knew that I was going to marry her. Like, I just knew. I was like, I fucking dated her for like 2 weeks. Actually, Josh met her at the beer garden. He's like, this girl's so fucking cool. I'm like, yes, she can actually hang out with us. And that's actually doesn't make her cool. It just makes her like probably dysfunctional. But we went to Turner's, and I'm like, it was a Sunday night. It was night just like tonight. Went to Turner's downtown. And I'm like, hey, let's stop in and meet my parents. So she's obviously like, I don't even think, like, I'm so selfish. She's just thinking, she's not even thinking, like, she's stressing the fuck out. I'm like, no big deal. So she started walking up the steps. I go, hey, I forgot to tell you this, but I go, my dad's in a wheelchair and he can't move his hands that well. And I just opened the door. And she's like, I can't even fucking believe, like, she's like, I was like, what? Like, I thought he would have mentioned this before. So, I mean, by the way, that comes from my dad. He used to fuck with me all the time. So.
Right.
All right, AJM.
And she was thrilled when she found out that he
Well,
was very
it's a
normal.
bonus when you find out he's not handicapped.
Yeah, I love that too. You throw that out there, and then they're thrilled when they meet them, and they're not.
Right. All right. AJMPlumbingHeating.com. Like I said last week, we always go over his mission statement, but we're gonna go over some services he does. Water heater, you need that? He's got it. Boilers, fixture installation, water and sewer line installation and repair, leak detection, gas fitting, gas appliance hookups, winterizing. Who is he certified by? I'll tell you who. Ideal, IBC, Navian, Burnham, Viessmann, Lochinvar, Bradford White, Renai, Wall McLean, Ream, A.O. Smith. Every one of those things are in your fucking house at one point or another. All right? Give him a shout, AJMPlumbingHeating.com. Tell him that we sent you. He's going to give you a 10% discount.
Love it. Okay. Wicked Cornhole. Everybody knows, first of all, if you listen to this show, unless you're one of the holdovers in the dogcast, I can fuck you up at Cornhole. That's a fact. I can do it. I mean, it's not like I'm not saying that like you probably beat me up. You know what I mean? You can do all those things, but I can fuck you up in Cornhole. Wicked Cornhole. I've had a relationship with Bruce and Stacy for a long time. Okay? They are the best. They are up at Tewksbury. I'd known them before I ever had any podcast at all. I was going to their events and like enjoying them, bringing people into the game. They're the best. So if you're getting boards, all right? We're talking about Baltic Birch. You're getting like an email box. Maybe one of those people. But if you're getting your backyard boards for like a graduation party or like your Father's Day gift, Fitzy, that you got for Father's Day, right?
Yep.
Okay. You got to get them a Wicked Cornhole. In-house design team. Anything you need to get done, they can get it done for you. Okay. So like you like, hey, I want Fitzy's face on it, right? Oh, by the way, I'll get to that afterwards. I want Fitzy's face on this board. And I wanted to say, Fitzy Rules. They can do that for you. Okay, that might be my next board actually that I'm getting. They actually have given us a discount code for 5% off. It is, I think it's Corkers. I don't have my phone on me because my phone is videoing this right now, and I don't have internet in here because we're at an away game. So I'll clarify that. I will put it into the notes of the show. But Corker or Corkers, 5% off. My guy Howell already bought like some stuff from them. Like, dude, support these guys. They're awesome. They're supporting us. We love them. And make it happen. And I forgot the story that I was going to tell, by the way. So
Bags, boards, everything they sell is fucking
dude,
awesome.
they're the best. They're the best. Oh, this is what I want to say. Chris Shelley.
Oh yeah, Chris.
Let's give a shout out. Guy Drew, me, Fitzy, and Danny.
Yeah.
Now,
He didn't take into account my hair loss and my weight loss, but he had me spot on.
I think you look beautiful.
it was
in
the
that picture.
best. I was the best out of all of us.
Yes.
Oh, is that the picture?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So I had a full deck of hair, which I love.
Yeah, you looked like a
Dude, I actually looked in the mirror today and I'm like, I have to shave my head. Like, I have no hair anymore.
I already did it.
Really?
Dude, just get on board.
Dude, like I got out of the shower and like this whole front part is like fucking gone.
yeah,
Like,
I already
You're-
did
you-
it.
you
it
don't have to
stinks.
It's, yours is good. Yours is good. Just don't do it yet. But
You don't have to shave.
So, anyways,
but you looked like
Stop
Patton
it.
Oswalt
Stop
in
with
that
that.
I
picture.
do look fat.
Yeah.
So Chris Shelley drew us. My buddy Dave, who lives next door to
Here's
Josh.
Paul Rudd right here.
Yeah. Ben Affleck.
The way back.
My buddy Dave goes, can I just say something? He's like, he said this today at Nate's. He goes, because a guy did it when I was on the Dogcast. A guy drew that Hope picture that like I had.
Yep.
And then, Scotty Hewitt drew me for the quarantine concert. He goes,
Yeah.
multiple people. He goes, dude, I've been alive for 46 years. He goes, nobody's
Nobody's
even
drawn
done a
me.
stick figure of me. He goes, people are doing artistic renderings of you.
Yeah.
He goes, this motherfucker every 6 months he's throwing
Yeah,
a mural of
yearly.
himself. I'm like, I never really thought
Well, I
about
don't
it.
think you're at a point where you got to shave your head yet, but
I'm
but-
getting
but-
close to
but
my
that-
hair
that-
stinks.
well,
He's-
but that-
he's
that-
close.
That picture,
Yeah, I'm
was-
close.
that picture
I might just do
definitely.
it. Fuck it, dude. Whatever.
No,
whatever.
you got a couple more years.
Yeah, you got a couple.
I
More
think-
years.
Dude, I'm telling you, I got this shot
Josh,
today.
look at me.
It was.
I
Yeah,
had to
it
pull,
looks good.
I had to pull the trigger.
Yeah,
It looks
looks
good.
Well,
Hey,
it's
yeah,
good
had
on
to.
you though. You got a
Yeah.
good head for it.
Let me
You got
tell
a
you
good
right
head
now,
for
though.
it.
I
I'm not mad
dude,
at
I
it.
got
It
out of
is what it is.
You can't be mad at
First of all, I was
You gotta
very
own
hungover this
that.
morning, but I got out of the gym and I looked at out of the shower and didn't go to the gym.
You don't
And I
want to
looked
see.
at my
You
fucking-
don't want to see a sweaty head.
Dude,
with
I just saw
thinning
like it was
hair.
like I'm
it
like
doesn't
I'm
look
like
good.
this looks like a
Or out of the
ninth
shower.
grade gym
think the
teacher
bottom- I think-
asshole hair.
I
That's
think
what it
the
looks
bottom
like.
line is it's tough to get old, and that's what happens.
Oh, I mean,
It
I
is
don't
what it
care.
is.
I'm in a debate about what I'm going to do with it.
Guess where Josh the Ironworker's hair is going? Nowhere.
That's great. He's got good hair.
well, my
fucking
my
nowhere.
hair's been receding since I
Yeah, I
was.
think you're all right though. I think
Right,
you're
I
yours
mean,
looks
it's okay
alright.
right now, but it's like it's definitely receding. It's been receding for friggin' 20 years now, and I mean, it's not fun, but it is what
Okay.
it is.
All right, so I'm up.
But I got another.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh,
no,
oh.
go ahead. Yo, you're the.
I got a
you're the
little
guest.
bit of a spicy one.
Yes.
And my overrated next overrated on the list is getting a blowjob from a transvestite. and the reason I say that is not because
Wasn't
I've
expecting
got
that.
one. I haven't got one from a transvestite, but I've
You have
heard
got a blowjob,
I've
not
heard
from a
a couple.
transvestite.
I've heard a couple stories told to me during my during my ironworking career where the stories have been told to me like oh yeah, well, I mean one guy in particular, and I made up a jingle about it and I'll sing it. But
can't
there's
wait.
two separate
jingle.
occasions like yeah, I got a blowjob when I was a from a transvestite, and I'm like, why would you tell that to another group of guys? Like in the shack. It happened a couple times.
Yeah. In an ironworker shack. Like,
I was totally embarrassed for them telling it, but they didn't seem to be embarrassed at all. And one of them was this guy, Larry Love. And I can say that because I'm pretty sure he doesn't. And he's
Don't lie anymore.
it's great character of a human being. And black guy, little shit tank on him, always balling, big bug eyes, like eyes. I don't know what causes that, but when your eyes is just like protruding.
Like
out.
Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Beetlejuice.
And
me, I'm just hanging around.
we were sitting in the tunnel. I remember it was 2006, and we were working in the Ted Williams tunnel after that the panel collapsed and killed that person. So we were doing this renovation in there, and he's like, yeah, he's like, you know what? I was 17 years old. He goes, I wanted to get a blowjob, and he goes, So I went down. I don't know if he said
Combat zone?
Chinatown.
Combat zone.
Combat
Had
zone,
to
probably.
have been
Yeah,
combat
yeah.
zone.
And he goes. So I started getting a blowjob. I mean, I don't know how salty we can be. But he's like, this woman sucked my dick. And I go, oh. And he's telling us, there's like 7 of us in a circle. And I'm like, and he goes, it's a transvestite, man. And he goes, I didn't care. I was 17 years old. He's like, I just wanted a blowjob. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, okay. So the other guys in the gang were like, but you didn't know it was a dude? And he goes, nah, I knew. And I go, and we were like, oh. And he's still telling the story. He's like, oh, yeah, dude, it was fucking awesome. And he goes, and then they gave him another out. It was like, he goes, but you didn't know it was a dude, right? And he goes, look at those big eyes. And he goes, yeah, I knew. and I go, and we're like, he goes, dude was looking good. And I go, oh, Jesus Christ. Like, I don't even know. Like, I could never tell that. Like, if you're ever in that situation, you didn't know, like, you're not going to tell
You wouldn't tell
anybody.
anybody.
Never, buddy.
Even
Never.
if you let it continue to happen, you just be like, I'm not going to tell anybody out there about
I mean,
this.
I'm gonna finish
At
this.
first,
but-
you didn't realize, and then you're like, wait a second.
Do you have a beard?
There's a dude. So I made up a little jingle about it in the tunnel, and then this is why it's overrated, because you don't. First of all, you don't tell that story to anybody
Correct.
ever. But if you do tell
Unless
it,
you're, what's his name? Johnny Love or something?
Larry
Love.
but
Love that
if
name.
you do tell it, it's like it's almost like, you know, you're a kid in elementary school picking your nose. Like everybody, you always remember that kid that was picking their nose and eating it. And so of course now you're an adult telling everybody about how you got a blowjob from a transvestite, and it just never lives it down. So I made this
It
song
gets
up,
told on a podcast.
and he was from he's from the city somewhere. So I made up a little jingle about it, and it goes something like this. I said, he was a kid from Boston, Mass. He never had a desire to take it in the ass, but then one day he got a blowjob in the hood. He said it wasn't gay because the dude was looking good. He works hard for his money, so hard for it, honey. He works hard for his money and he just can't get it right.
Let's fucking go.
That's incredible.
That's wild.
Dude, you
And
know,
We were singing it on the job, right? I made the song up on the job, and he was, clapping. He was right in there. He was like, I'm like, this guy's got no shame.
Sarah,
all right,
I actually love that.
is this the only guy that you've heard this?
I've heard it 2 different
Yeah,
times.
because you
Are you
said
serious?
I thought you
in
said
the shack.
Yeah. So
And
Fuck's
when
going
he
on
started
with
over, he
the local.
The
I
other
thought
guy
he said multiple.
That's
people
how crazy I
talked
work
about
about.
this.
They're just like, I'll tell you
Yeah,
my
that's
worst.
fucking
like,
wild, dude.
Well, the second time I was
Not
like,
embarrassed.
another guy told it, and I was like, oh. And then, of course, everyone comes to the shack like, hey, tell that story again. And I'm like, I had to leave. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, I don't want to hear this again.
Oh,
This
so
is
you heard the
embarrassing.
same story twice?
No, two different people.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's fucking wild to me.
Yeah, but like, would you admit that to anybody?
No.
No,
I wouldn't
couldn't
get that far.
I couldn't believe that these guys were
maybe on Patreon.
yeah.
subscribe.
Subscribe.
Tell them. Hey, can you tell? Speaking of, by the way, if we're getting canceled on everything today, can you tell them the story about the guy that you work with that went to the massage parlor?
Which one was that?
And they were like wanting to make sure it wasn't a cop.
Oh, and he was like, I went to
I
the
gotta
massage
speak.
parlor.
I'll be right back.
Went to the massage parlor, and he goes, he obviously had heard that it was, you know, a happy ending parlor, and
Craft.
right, and he went in, and apparently when you go into those, because I can honestly say that I've never been to one, but apparently when you do go in, they want to make sure that you're not like a cop or something, and he went in and he was like, you know, kind of pointing like, can you do the happy ending? And she was like, no, you do. He goes, huh?
You want me to
And
do it?
she goes, you do. And he goes, no, you do. and he was like, and she's like, you do. And he goes, no, you do. And she goes, no. And he goes, so I just did it. apparently you have to show your face in there a couple times before you can actually have that act done.
Yeah. I have a buddy of mine. I won't mention his name, but he was coming home from college in Florida, and his flight got delayed, like for hours. He was like, "I'm not staying at the airport.
Right.
I'll just go get a rubber duck."
Right.
So he goes there. And he goes, "The only person that was working there was this 60-year-old woman." He goes, "So I went there." He goes, "My buddy told me about it from college." He goes, "You should go here. It's great, you know." And he goes there, and this 60-year-old woman or whatever, she like knew what the deal was.
Right.
He goes, "So she's rubbing me down or whatever, and next thing you know, shit happens." And I got my eyes closed, and all of a sudden I hear this lady going, "Ooh, ooh." He goes, "You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that." And
I'll do that.
He goes, I open my eyes up and she's staring at me. And she's going, "Ooh, ooh." He goes, "All right, we can wrap this up."
By the way, could that be on an overrated list? Is hand jobs? Could that be on an overrated list?
No, hand job's great.
I agree. I don't mind. But you know what the worst is? Like,
Rough,
usually,
rough
yeah,
hand jobs.
just like a begrudging hand job is not something you want to be part of. Like when you're like, "Oh, like I'm not one of those guys like, oh, could you?
Well-
yeah, I'll give you a hand job. Oh, thanks. Like, I want you to want.
You know what it is? You know what it is? It's when you ask your wife for a hand job, right? And then she's like, "Oh, all right." She's hungover and she lays off and she's like, "There's nothing." It's like all you can feel is the calluses.
Yeah.
It's like.
Is your wife like a
like-
fucking farmhand?
Yeah. So I'm like, this isn't fun. This isn't fun.
Unenthusiastic hand jobs are the worst.
Unenthusiastic
Yeah.
hand job
Yeah.
is like
A begrudging
like-
hand job.
Yeah,
like
it's
I'm
like-
doing this because I have to.
Come on, get into it, will you?
I like a. I
Get
like
into
a.
it.
I like a.
Come on, lady boy, get into it.
Yeah.
Come on, Larry Love, get into it for Christ's sakes.
Something like it's always a reach for them because they're like half sleeping.
I like
And it's
I like a subtle one, like a surprise.
Yeah, how about
hand job.
how about a wake up hand job?
Yeah,
like
wouldn't
when
hate-
you're just sleeping.
Wouldn't hate it.
Yeah,
I think that would be nice.
Like, yeah. Hey, can you do me a favor? Now I'm just gonna make him tell stories. Can you tell the pooch story now?
Oh, on the job.
Yeah.
When he was like,
Yeah,
you know the
Dude, he's terrified.
outhouses.
He's like, you know.
The outhouses.
No, you know the outhouses on the job.
What's that?
The outhouses,
Oh,
like
yeah.
the shit houses. It's like the fucking terrible place to have to take a shit, and we've done it many a times. You go in there, it stinks.
So sweaty. It's like 90 degrees.
So bad. 90. That's a good day.
Matt, like the toilet paper is disintegrating before you even hit your fucking
Yeah,
ass.
it's like,
like, is that
and
my
you're
finger?
already sweating. You're already sweating, so like you're trying to wipe your ass and it's just sticking in there.
everything's sticky.
So
Oh
bad.
yeah.
Love it.
It turns out
Call
to be
for a
just
good
like a
time.
terrible experience. So my buddy that I was working with, he would never. He obviously wasn't a shit. Big guy, big guy, and he's like, I don't want to shit in those. So he would go across to the street to the police station. We were over at Northeastern. He'd go across the police and shit in there. And I didn't know that he was doing that. And so obviously we had a foreman's meeting or something at that thing. And like, hey guys, if any of you guys are going across the street and shitting in the police station, you got to tell them to not do that. They don't want people in there. Of course, there must have been an incident. And I was like, I'm thinking, like, I don't pay much attention to those foreman's meetings anyways. And I'm like, so I went back to the job, and he's my buddy, my kid that I was working with. He's like, he's welding, and I go, hey, there's a couple other people around. I go, hey guys, listen, if anyone's going across the street to the police station to take a shit, like you can't do that anymore. I'm pretty sure it's none of us, but I said I just want to make sure that no one's doing that. I guess whatever. I don't really care. And he lifts up his welding shield. He goes, that's me, kid. And I go,
Fuck
I said,
them.
oh, he goes, I said, what happened over there? He goes, I destroyed the place. You ruined it for everybody.
Yeah.
He's like, was it,
Destroyed the
I go,
place.
I'm like, and I said to him, I'm like, what do you mean by you destroyed the place? Like, was it just like just shit dripping down the walls? Like, what does that mean? Like
Daddy Daycare. Eddie Murphy's looking at the ceiling and the
Oh,
walls.
my
like
God.
the police are going in, they're like, what the hell happened in here?
I gotta. I'm sorry to
No,
piggyback on this.
Yeah.
The shit stories are good.
So I'm working in the seaport, right? And I'm on the hoist. We're on like the fucking 22nd floor or whatever. and I'm with this absolute monster ironworker. He's like fucking 6'6", big dude from Salty. And I'm like, you know, you're on the hoist and you're sitting there talking like, I gotta fucking poop, dude. I gotta go. He's like, you gotta poop? I'm like, yeah. He's like, me too. He's like, come with me. I go, where we going? He goes, across the street, Ocean Prime.
Ocean Prime.
Like one of the nicest restaurants in Boston.
I go, what? He goes, oh, I've been shitting there for weeks. I go, what?
What was his name?
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying
Say it afterwards.
This kid brought me to Ocean Prime, and we're sitting there having a conversation like we are right now, shitting in the stall. And he's like, how much better is this than the fucking porta potty, dude? It's mid-January, right? Porta potties, listen, they're either the sweatiest place on earth
God.
or they're freezing. And I got my fucking underoos down to the fucking
man.
ankles, and he's sitting, he's
Loving
like,
life.
He's like, buddy, how about this heat? So I was an apprentice at the time, and I'm like, dude, I'm all fucking, you know, what if they see me come across? He goes, what are they going to say? He goes, you just shit. That's it. That's all you did. You didn't do anything
You're a
else.
human.
Yeah. He
Get
goes,
shit?
Yeah. I go, yeah, but like there's porta potties there. And like my foreman at the time was a complete scumbag. So I was like, if he sees me, like I'm canned, you know? I didn't shit anywhere else. Ocean Prime, shit every
I
stall
bet it
in
was
that
fucking
place.
excellent.
It was great.
Dude,
I
I
really
think
love that.
told this story on the podcast, but like, so me and O'Malley, like me and Josh's buddy who lives in Iowa, everybody knows Jimmy. So me and Jimmy go to this Springsteen concert. And so like I got there and I'm like, fuck, dude. I'm like, I'm like,
Whatever you want.
I'm like, my fucking stomach is off. You know what I mean? Like you're at Springsteen. We parked in this one of those weird lots, like off of, you know, not in the main lot. So I'm like, all right. So beforehand, like we're like, yeah, they can go up. Dog's going up. So taking a piss, the lines are forever, right? He's like backs up to the woods, so he's like, just go piss in the woods, right? I'm like, fine. So like my stomach's fucking boiling, but I'm like, this is before like they had like I think they hadn't really renovated the bathrooms yet, like they are now. At Gillette. Like I still couldn't take a shit at Gillette. Like so the whole time I'm like not even that cock because I'm like I have to like I'm gonna fucking like I'm just holding in a disgusting situation, right? So finally we get back after Springsteen, and I'm like I'm going. There's a big hill behind it, all woods, right? So I'm like, I'm going up there and I'm fucking taking a shit. Like I have to. Like I have no other option. There's a fucking shit house, but there's 98 girls waiting for it, right? So like my only thing is I either shit my pants or I have to shit up there. There's two options, right? So I climb up this hill, like it's probably like 100 yards up the hill, right? Climb up there, but I can see the whole parking lot, right? Because parking lot's all lit up, and now I'm in the dark up in the fucking trees, right?
Safe.
So I grab around two trees. I pull my fucking. I had to take all my clothes off, like all my bottom clothes off, because like I don't want to
risk it.
Don't want to take a chance of shitting on your own
Big
clothes,
risk,
right?
Yeah.
So I've ever told you the story?
I got a
So I
funny
take
one, too.
all my fucking clothes off, right? I get my fucking sneakers off, everything's off, right?
Hell yeah.
Except for like I have a t-shirt on and no fucking pants. Like I look like a fucking like I could be arrested at any moment, right? So I grab both trees, right? I find two trees that close up together, and I'm just exploding
Diarrhea.
all over the place.
Yeah.
Disgusting, right? So
Zero
as I'm doing
solids.
it,
Everyone shits, by the
nothing
way.
is
No
solid.
solid.
Everyone
No,
shits like that.
this happened.
No,
it had
I'm
to happen.
like think of like Halle Berry.
Oh.
She
Dude,
shits like that
dude,
sometimes.
When we worked landscaping, when I
I
worked
don't know
landscaping
about
with heels,
Hallie. I think hers come out.
No,
Perfect.
sometimes
Perfect
you just have
shits.
to fucking hold on
when
to
we worked
walls.
landscaping, they would shit in the woods all the time. I couldn't shit in the woods. That could tell you how much I had to shit. Like I couldn't do it. It was not an option. So anyway, so I'm hanging on the tree, and I could see down into this lit parking lot. Right, this guy wanders in to. Now I'm 100 yards up this fucking thing. Like I'm up there. You know what I mean? And I see him though. He's wandering in. He's fucking cocked. And he's ping ponging off fucking trees, right? And I'm like, well, he's gonna stop at some point and take a piss, right? And I'm like, I'm sitting there and I'm like, but now like I actually am ready to like. I took a roll of paper towels from somebody's car, so I'm ready to like clean up. But now I don't want to move because I don't want this guy to see me. Like I don't want to like. So he's bouncing off trees, dude. But he keeps coming up, and he's fucking coming up the fucking hill. And I'm like, is this guy's gonna keep fucking coming up here? So finally, I just had to like, I didn't know what to do. So finally, I'm like sitting there. I got no fucking pants on. I got shit all over the woods.
Hey, buddy, I'm shitting.
I go, hey, buddy, I'm dropping one over here. And the guy was like, huh? He's like, oh!
Oh,
like,
Jesus.
Like horrified. Like, guy sobered up in like 2 seconds. Like, guy with no pants on, shitting just all over the fucking place. You know what I mean? I remember I came back and one of our buddies that I was with was like, dude, he's like, I just got a blowjob in the woods. I go, you'll never guess what I just had fucking happen in the woods. It wasn't a blowjob. It was fucking horrible.
That's incredible.
Dude,
That's a good
sometimes you get a shit. It is what
Well,
it is.
when you get a shit, you get a shit. You know what? I haven't had too many experiences when I have a shit like that, but I was working up in New Hampshire a bunch of years ago with my buddy. We were just like doing some like fence repair in some fucking town. It was
Just like in 08 when it was like slow?
No, it was just I was working for this company and it was like they were replacing sections of fence around a cemetery, and so we were up there just replacing these sections. He's like, I got to take a shit, and he's like, he had toilet paper and everything. So I'm like, all right, well, go down there. And he walked down. He was behind a tomb. Just shitting, like he was in there, and all of a sudden I was looking over there. I knew he was shitting over there, and all of a sudden I see a woman walking her dog, and I'm like, she seems to be getting kind of close to that fucking tomb. Man, I knew he was behind it shitting, and then I was like, what's going on? And then I saw her like dart her head the other way and start walking, and I'm like,
She
what the
definitely
fuck
seen-
happened? So he comes walking back, kind of like the walk of shame. And he was like, I go, dude, that woman got kind of close to you. He goes, oh yeah. He goes, she fucking walked right around the tomb. And he goes, he was bracing himself against the tomb, shitting. And he goes, she walked over. She was walking close, like she didn't have any idea. And he goes, hi-oh. Hi-oh. And she's like, huh? And she looked at him. He goes, yeah. And she's like, oh, Jesus. And that's when she darted the other way. And I'm like, she stumbled upon him shitting
That's
in a
my-
cemetery.
That's my son's nickname, by
on
the
the
way.
dead.
What, hi-oh?
Hi-oh. Yeah.
Imagine that on the
I
dead.
learned that in a bar.
Dude, there's nothing worse than when you like, I remember I was with, me and Maggie were dating, and like I hadn't revealed to her yet that I had like, at that time I had like horrible, I think it was because like, my daughters have celiac. I have some type of like intolerance. So anyways, we went out the night before, right?
Yeah.
Went out to the bar, whatever, probably with you at Southie. She's like, we're gonna meet my brother Rob at this bar in Newton. And I'm like, all right, cool. So we're driving around. She's showing me Needham. She's driving around. And all I'm thinking about is how am I going to hold in this fucking situation that I'm going to shit my pants, basically. She's like, you're being very quiet. I'm like, I get to this bar and I'm like, there's a restaurant. There was literally one shitter and a pisser. And I'm like, I was like, pooch. I was like, that was me, kid. I destroyed the place.
Well, it's
Do
the
what you
worst
gotta do.
feeling when there's only one shitter and you're in it, and you're like, you know, there's someone waiting outside. And all you want to do is take a shit.
It is what it is.
You just have to go. Dude,
Just
the
go.
I think this episode's got to be called shit, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's
spent
been
a
there.
lot
dude.
of time.
Everybody's
on the
been
end,
there though. Everybody's had that
That's
situation.
what I'm saying,
And
like,
it is weird that it's embarrassing because it's like it's just a fucking thing that you have to do. Like it's not like
Oh, everyone shits.
Everyone shits.
not anybody.
So overrated.
Last overrated
Shitting.
overrated thing I was gonna
Shitting.
say was any vacation with kids that are under 7. Sorry, Fitzy.
What do you mean? I got 2 of them.
No, I know.
Stinks.
That's what I'm saying. Like you think it's like, oh, this is great, and then like you basically just fucking like it's not what you think it would be. You know what I mean?
Well,
but then
at that
again,
point-
you get older now, and my kids are just cocks.
Yes, but at that point, you're not living for your vacation. You're doing it for their memories.
I agree, and I'll tell you right now.
So, like at the Sox game today, it was not fun for me.
Except that I love that you're like, I'm living for their memories. You're slapping, pulling the cork stickers all
Well,
over.
I did that. I did
Jumping
that.
up and down.
I did that for you guys.
Thank
and
you. I
us.
love you.
I did
I
it
love
for
you. I
us.
love you. I
But
love you.
otherwise, it was like we went to the game for the kids. The
Dude.
kids had a blast. They loved it.
Connor,
my daughter, my son, they
Connor
had
is
a
such a
blast.
gem. He was at Bella's yesterday.
Yeah.
Kid asked for a thing of chips. That's all. He kid only eats potatoes. He's like
But
a
then Mark got fries.
Yeah, he gave him
And
some fries.
He gave him some fries. He
kid's
crushed-
rocking his
crushed the whole
doghouse
thing of
hat that I
fries.
gave to Fitzy. He
Yeah.
stole it. I
He
love it.
stole my hat.
Dude, did you see Brian
Yeah.
Bach was like, I need
Yeah.
that fucking hat.
He's
Like,
like,
people
I
like,
need
that's like a
Junior's hat.
limited edition.
Yeah.
Like, all right, so we're gonna do Patreon next, right?
Yes.
Here's the thing too. Like, we're trying to not do like 2 hours.
Yeah,
on the
no,
re-
I don't think we're there. We're at
We're close.
We're like an hour and a half.
buck and a half right now.
That's good. So if you want to join on Patreon, we're gonna get some more stories out of Josh for sure. And You can be a Patreon member for $5 a month.
Oh, we got voicemails?
Oh shit! Yes.
do some
So here's the
voicemails.
thing. I gotta say this before I do this. First of all, the guy who called in last week, who I thought was not speaking English,
The Irish guy.
he's like, Danny, I can't believe you didn't recognize my voice. I have voicemail from him, but I can't play it because I don't have the internet hooked up to this thing.
He's an Irish
He's
guy.
like, he said he
Yeah,
drinks
I
Diet
asked
Cokes.
all the Irish
Said he
guys.
drinks Diet Cokes.
He what?
He has to be a Patreon member because he's like, you guys were talking about your small dicks.
Yeah.
So it had to be a free ad there for the Patreon. But he had to be on the Patreon.
He drinks Diet Cokes.
Lost.
He's like, I can't believe you didn't recognize my voice, Danny. He was like very disappointed.
That voicemail was fucking gold.
That's my favorite one. The
When I
Danny
listened to
and
it, I
I
re-listened and listened to every
Yeah,
word.
yeah.
He's a fucking legend.
Yeah.
Do we all have small dicks here?
Yeah. I mean,
I'm a grower, not a shower.
I don't know
Okay,
about you
yeah,
guys,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
You know what's funny is when somebody's like, whenever somebody's like, oh, I got a huge dick, like it's like,
good for you.
yeah, it's like
Yeah.
great. It's
Fucking-
like being like I'm rich.
Fucking
You ever,
rubbing
you
it
ever
in.
sit, like, you
dickhead.
might know this too. Like, I
Rub it in,
noticed
you
it the other
rubber.
day. I noticed it the other day.
Rubber.
In the shack, like, there was a guy sitting across from me, and he was like,
He had a big dick?
dude, he had overalls on. He always wears overalls, and he had
Those people
I
are
was-
so weird, aren't
I
they?
happen to look over, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, he's got like there was a lot of meat there, whatever you want to call it, and I was like,
Italian meat that you climb the greasy pole for?
I'm glad that I don't have that big draped over balls.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm
I
all-
don't
I'm
need
all
them to
right.
be.
I'm
it's
all
like,
right with
they're
it.
like laying on the seat. Like, I don't need that. I would like my balls to be a little bigger and my penis to be a little bigger. But I think
You want your balls to be bigger?
no.
Why do you want your balls to be
don't. I
bigger?
want. I like
My
tight
balls are huge.
Oh, you got big,
Balls?
huge
Yeah.
balls.
And my dick just sits sadly
But
above
I
them.
mean, do they just drape on the seat when you sit there?
Oh, they're all right.
I don't know if I
They
want
just chill
that.
out.
Yeah. Just chilling.
I'm fine with my stuff.
Yeah, I'm
fine
good.
with it.
fine.
good
I'm
with
fine
it.
with it too.
It's perfectly workable. By the way,
Well,
it could be
46
much
years
worse.
old.
It could always be much worse.
Yeah.
Like I've said
It's
this before.
perfectly functional.
Here's the thing. As I've said, everything about me is average white male. I'm
Yeah.
5'10". I have an average white dick.
Yeah.
I have size 10
You know what would be
sneakers.
terrible?
I am. The only thing that's not average about me is my head. I have a huge fucking dome. Like it doesn't relate to the size of your dick.
You know what
but
would be kind of bad is like if my wife was always like, geez, I wish you had bigger balls. And I'm like, oh, that would suck. And then I'd be like, oh, really? You want bigger balls? And I'm like, but if so, as long as she's not complaining about it, then I'm like, whatever.
Yeah,
My
fuck it.
balls are fine.
We're doing all right.
By the way, also Ryan Hurd's brother who had the mustache and it's sick. He's like, hey, I'm gonna keep it as long as till the wife says I can't anymore, and she gets sick of it. And I'm like, dude, when you rock a mustache like that, you make the fucking rules.
Yeah.
Guys with mustaches like that, I go, he's a dentist. I go, you know what you guys are like, dude, my fucking dentist has a sick mustache.
Right.
Like, I keep going to that dentist. Like, fucking guy looks like Magnum PI right now. Like,
Right.
anyways, all right. We got voice
What a
notes.
crazy episode.
I think I
still
can play
on
these.
here?
I think I can play these. Ready?
Let's go.
Yeah,
All
let's
right, throw these
I
headphones on.
need headphones.
I need
Hold on.
headphones. Whoa, baby.
Whoa.
You hear?
Yes.
Yep.
All right. I think I can play it from here. Here's your guy. Ready?
Wait, I don't think I can hear. Can I hear?
Fellas, how are you? It's me again, the ultimate worker, guys. I can't believe you don't recognize my voice. I think maybe I had a too few many Diet Cokes before I told you last week. Or maybe we had a few too many pups before you listened to my message. Either way, it was an honor to be heard on the biggest podcast in the greater Square One Mall area, guys. Great episode on Petrine last week. Though you did all talk about your small penises for an alarming amount of time. We gotta hear Irish. I noticed Daniel was a little quiet about it, so I think that Italian or Mexican thing may still be in play on him. Let's wait and find out on that one, folks. Anyways, Brendan, great job as always, but for a fucking it's Chief Marketing Officer, not Central Marketing Officer. I swear to God, that's been bugging me since episode 350. Do a bang-up job so far. Keep the difference of opinion coming, my friend. Then you must be getting excited with college football starting in a couple weeks. Hey,
This
you
is a
know,
fake-
Dan,
this is a fake
there's lots
voice.
to make
No,
the
it's
hunt
not.
Get your ball this year. Onto this week's topic. Overrated. My pick, the movie Titanic.
It's a
Drawn out
fake
an
voice.
obvious ending. Just a ridiculous love story. I tell you halfway through, I wished I was drowning. Jack and Rose can suck it and screwed up his Rose. Jack
Titanic.
could have fist pounded that door and it would have held him. They proved it on the busters. So for me, the Titanic is overrated. You know what else I hear is overrated? Visiting the wreckage from the Titanic, whether we have it. Best thank you. Again, I look forward to your next broadcast. Till then, Ultimate Worker.
Yeah, lots of
That's a fake voice.
What a legend.
I don't know if it's a fake voice.
fake
It's
voice.
wild.
It's a fake voice.
It's
It
either
is
a fake voice.
It's a wild accent.
It's a
Like,
fake
but how
voice.
could you fake voice that accent?
Dude,
Yeah.
that was a total run-on sentence.
Because that's what I'm saying. He talks like in a fucking run-on.
That's not a person. That's not a person.
Oh, what is it? AI coming to get
Yes.
us? Like,
So you know what I picture? I picture
that's
Kevin
not a-
Spacey from Seven when he's talking.
I think it's Doctor Strange's like uncle or
That's
something
not,
like that.
that's not a
Remember
real
Seven,
person.
right?
There's no chance.
You remember Seven?
Yes.
Yeah,
Kevin Spacey's the killer.
Yes.
yeah.
That's the picture I
But
get. when
that
he
guy
talks.
has this little Irish affectation going
No,
on.
Yeah.
so it was Irish the first time. That it was computer.
But it was also familiar with the show.
That's what
Oh,
I'm
for
saying.
sure.
But you could
100%.
write it all out.
It's right. No, 100%.
Yeah,
that was
right.
a.
Yeah. It was thanks. It was familiar with the show, obviously. He was like Big Bird, $7. Like what?
It
Like,
did sound computerized a little bit, but
Yeah.
all right, you ready?
Yeah.
Most overrated. This is super easy.
I knew what this was.
All right, let's start this list. Notre Dame football. Rudy.
Fuck
Guinness.
off.
Bono. Lucky the Leprechaun. Name your Notre Dame quarterback. Brady Quinn, Jimmy Clausen, Rick Meyer. It doesn't matter. Erin Gobra. Corned beef. And last but not least, Daniel Gillis's dance moves. I'm out.
What a cunt.
He
go,
never
Bobby.
fucking misses. Bobby Furrow never misses.
He's gonna steel trap mine too.
He's the best. He's the fucking best.
Do we have more?
Yeah, I think I said it before the show, but my father was like, "Is that Bobby?" So somebody thought was Bobby Furrow. I'm like, no. Bobby Furrow is a fucking legend. He's a fucking man. Yeah, we have more.
What's up, fellas? I mean, this is a give me. Number one most fucking overrated thing. Dunkin' Donuts coffee. Stuff is gross.
that's pretty fucking
Gives
right.
me
Yeah.
diarrhea every time. I fucking hate it.
Clarky?
All right. That's it. Just wanted to check in. Love you guys. Bruins are
He's
gonna
right
be
on the
awesome
money with
this
that.
year. Goodbye.
Totally correct, by the way. Totally correct.
Yeah.
All right, we got two more.
Oh, we do?
Boys,
Oh wait. This is Doobie. He told me not to play the first one.
Hey, fellas, just wanted to thank you for all the love last week. I appreciate it. It was a pleasure dropping everything off to you. As for this week, overrated. Chick-fil-A, I don't get it. It's bland, it's flavorless, and I just don't get the hype. I want to
Disagree.
hear your thoughts, boys.
Listen, I'll say this as we end this main show. I mean, I'm not getting my sandwich from Chick-fil-A if I can get from Lily P's, but Chick-fil-A, I will fucking go to war for. It's a
love
fucking great
Chick-fil-A.
place.
I
The
like
sauces are
Chick-fil-A.
great.
Chick-fil-A sandwich doesn't miss.
Doobie, you want to fucking go stilt right now? You want to give Doobie a stilt? I saw it sitting there, Mark Chabak, right? McGrath, original Ginger. I go, hey, Ginger, I go, you had the fucking Doobie's wings? He goes, oh, yeah, I had them. He goes, I've had Buffalo. He's a big Buffalo Bills guy. He's like, I've had them all. He's
Yeah.
like, 9.8 all day. No questions asked. Chabak's like, oh, yeah, fucking money.
How
By the
about-
way, that was behind closed doors.
Yeah.
Doobie's nowhere to be heard.
Right.
Like, they can say whatever they want. Like, I didn't love them. You know what I mean? They're fine. They're good. They're at 8.2. Fucking nines
Through the
flying out of the
roof.
place. Yeah.
Through the roof. Hey, and how about Gentile buying 3 orders last Sunday?
Most unbelievable thing of all time.
Yeah.
He goes, I don't need to consult with you before I fucking buy my wings. I'm like, I
I'm
agree
reaching
with
out
you.
to your friends.
I love it. Gentile is the fucking guy.
That was the best. We're like, Paul, where's your pop-up tonight? And he goes, well, once I leave here, I'm going to Gentile's house.
Yeah.
We're like, what?
Dude, that's the last thing I gotta say is that I do think about this. I usually like say central marketing officer, which I know it's chief marketing officer. That guy's right. That I don't know if that is a real person or not, though. It is weird, right?
It's wild.
It's not a-
It's
it's
a
not a real
wild
person.
accent.
It's not a real
I,
person.
I think it is.
It's not a real person.
I think it is.
I agree with Fitzy. I think it's real.
Andy's awesome.
And he's great. By the way, Doctor Strange, we haven't heard from you in a while. I know you were the fake Dave Russo. I know it. I know you were the fake Dave Russo, and it was fucking awesome. Dave Russo, Springfield, Mass. That
was a great-
Oklahoma,
great
92.
voice.
Penn State,
Yeah, yeah.
93. It's definitely Doctor Strange. I'm fucking. By the way, Doctor Strange doesn't just fuck around though. But now that Bobby Furrow's coming back in the mix,
Football's back, baby.
there's never been two better foils than fucking
Yeah.
Bobby Furrow and Doctor
Back
Strange.
and forth. We need it.
All right, we'll be on Patreon. We love you. We had fun.
Thanks for having me. This was fun. I'm glad you guys did it in the garage tonight.
Oh, what a fucking time, buddy.
Well,
Thanks for
thank
having
you
us.
for having us, and you got to talk about transvestite
blowjobs.
DJs.
And again, I will reiterate this. I've never got one. but I've heard stories. Thank you.
Hey, I haven't either.
But you wouldn't know it if I did because I certainly wouldn't make it clear.